Hello and welcome back to the SEGA Spirit Show. It's your healthy dose of blue skies, blast processing, and a whole lot of retro-fueled enthusiasm. I'm your host, Graham Cookson, and with me is a man who once told a dragon it was hot stuff as a joke, and now the dragon won't stop texting him. It's my certified dragon behavioral specialist, that came out wrong. My certified dragon behavioral specialist, unlicensed, my co-host, Scotty Mo. And we have a cracking episode for you folks tonight, as always. In this episode, if you haven't guessed, we'll be celebrating the 30th anniversary of the SEGA Saturn's greatest on-rail shooter, Panzer Dragoon Zwei. And how does the game hold up after 30 years? Well, find out later as Scotty and I talk about our recent playtime with the game. Before that, as always, we have our hot SEGA community news, packed full of homebrew and indie SEGA shenanigans. So come join us as we celebrate the SEGA community, classics, and more in this episode of the SEGA Spirit Show. Cool. So it's been a few weeks. Scotty, how's it going? How are you doing?
It's going. I'm better now. Doing well. I'm here. Yeah. We're here. Everybody's here. Look at us. Look at us. Yeah. What have I been doing? You know what? I was looking at these notes and I was like, oh yeah, I did play a video game. I still do that every now and again. Have you heard of the video game Pragmata?
Say that again.
Pragmata, Capcom's latest IP.
Pragmata. No.
Pragmata. All right, here we go, everybody. Graham, if it's on a Microsoft, the end, he plays it then. But otherwise, he barely keeps up. But that doesn't make sense because it is on a Microsoft. It's on a Microsoft Xbox. But Pragmata, it's a new game. I'm making fun of you, Graham. Sorry.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird that Capcom put out a new IP like mere months after Resident Evil 9's insane success. But I've not played Pragmata because I have nothing to play it on. But it reminded me of a SEGA game made by Platinum called Vanquish. And I played that a little bit.
Yes.
And I quickly remembered why I didn't get too far in it outside of playing the demo. Because I don't give a flying crap about cover shooters. And it was trying its damnedest to be Gears of War, because everybody's doing that then. So
nothing like it. Okay, right.
Okay, yeah. Vikings, nothing like God of War. Here we go, huh?
Oh my god. Vanquish is nothing like Gears of War. Oh my god, it's so much. Do you play it like Gears of War? Is that how you're playing it? Because if you're doing that, you're playing the game wrong.
I haven't really played Gears of War, so I couldn't tell you.
God. Like, they're not okay. They have the cover shooter bit where you get behind the cover. Yes, that is true. But the most of the gameplay is very, very different. Like Vanquish is very fast paced, like sliding around on the floor basically on like this jetpack type.
You're bearing the lead. He slides on his knees like an idiot because it's a Platinum game. You're telling me you don't remember that? That's like the thing you do in that game
as well. Yeah.
That's like you don't remember driving in a racing game. He's like,
yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
It's great. He just slides around. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a Platinum game. It's fine. It is a Platinum game that's 1000% making fun of America and like the patriotism stereotypes, which is very good to do. And they did a it was out on PS3 and 360, and then they did a re-release in like 2018 or something, or 17, I forget. So I was playing that version on PS4, but I might keep playing it. I don't know. It was okay. I guess it's really short. I honestly, like, if I hadn't checked my notes, I forgot that I was playing it. So yeah, that says something too. But like the game, I do remember also why I fell off of it, because the controls were so weird to me for a game that relied so much on frenetic speed and flow and like boom boom boom, action when you're not behind something. Like the buttons were odd to me because it really felt like it was trying to if anyone's played any of the excuse me. This was Platinum's glory days. I will say that because it was right after Bayonetta. Um, I don't know that Mad World was out yet, but it was another one of their third-person actiony character-driven games.
Mm.
And so it's the future. And what's his name? Gideon something, or something Gideon.
It's been a while since I played it, but yeah, it's like something Gideon,
Something Gideon. And I can't tell if
Sam Gideon, I think
Sam Gideon. Yep.
Yeah.
I can't tell if crap. Someone take away my anime fan card. The guy who does Spike Spiegel's voice in Cowboy Bebop in the dub, and I just lost his name entirely. But he's also the robot that hosted Toonami, and it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I can't tell if he's doing the voice of Sam Gideon or the like Colonel, super leader guy who Sam Gideon butts heads with. But it's definitely him because he also did Jack's name in Mad World and Anarchy Reign, or his name did his voice in those games.
I feel where you were Mad World box just not that long ago. I could have seen if his name was on it, but no, never.
That's okay. Steve Bloom.
Steve Bloom.
Swoosh. Got it in one. So, but no, yeah, it's the future, and boy, the opening cutscenes didn't age well because there's just a lot of terrorism and stuff. But I don't even need to talk that much about this game. I'm already
it's an old game now.
I'm rambling too much on a game that is a straightforward third-person zip around in the future steel mech suit thing that you're wearing. That this was definitely very obviously the precursor to Metal Gear Revengeance in how a lot of things move and look, because the first bought the demo of it. I remember vividly the demo because I just did not get it. I didn't understand why it was fun, because I had so much trouble with the controls then, and I was struggling a little bit now, but I got past the first boss, which is a big old mech, and you've got just barrages of missiles going at you, and you've got to scoot around and zip zap zoom and find the lit up parts and shoot them, and then you do crazy button mashing things to do backflips and somersaults and run along his arm to jump up and punch his face into itself and other things and catch a missile and throw it back into the thing that shot the missile. And it's an action movie, and it's fun and goofy and stupid, and so it's fine. It's cool. It's a cool, fun Platinum thing,
Look,
I will say that I was legitimately annoyed with every time I did something in the first level, every time there was a little bit of a crossfire between the enemies and you, it's boom, cutscene to explain something. I don't care, let me play this game. It was so insanely just boo, not even 5 minutes of gameplay, and then he's strutting and talking to the commander who hates him because he's a loose cannon cop that doesn't play by the rules, or something like that. And
it's a bit cheesy, some of the dialogue and that, but
it knows entirely what it is, though.
So just very briefly on this, I love the gameplay in it. I didn't really I can understand the controls are a bit complicated to begin with, but I did get used to them. So yeah, I think once you get used to them, it should be fine. But
probably
one of the things I love about the game, aside from the actual gameplay, because I do think that's genuinely good, is I think some of the levels and areas have amazing set pieces. And when I'm talking about that, is there's certain bits where you're almost like a little battle, almost like these little battle scenes that you get into, and there's some of them are very unique. There's one where it's on a slope, like a falling building basically, and things are coming down at you and stuff, and it's really cool. And there's another bit later on, it's not really a spoiler or anything, because it's not a spoiler, but basically there's a bit where it's like a long straight bit, and then in the distance you see this massive mech thing, like its leg moving up and down, and it's just huge. It's huge. It's bigger than a skyscraper, so you don't even really see all of it, and lasers are coming off it and stuff in the distance. And if you actually wait there, it is actually getting closer to you. I remember actually you're like, oh crap, that thing is actually getting a bit closer. It's just kind of it's just kind of a cool thing to see happening. And there's other bits and some bosses I really love doing. So for me, it's a lot of wow factor in that game, and I just didn't
very
enjoy
ridiculous.
it. Yeah. The storyline is very cliche and ridiculous 80s, kind of almost like an 80s action movie sci-fi vibe thing. But
yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
hope
not.
you
Yeah,
hope
it's
you
not
play
a
a bit
bad
more.
game. I might give it a shot. It's still a fun platinum thing.
Mm,
The what's funny is even the titles, or even the like title and option screen is actiony because it like has these loud noises and like when you just go between menus. I'm like, hey, at least it's just getting you prepared for what's about to come, basically.
yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Um, yeah, but it was people might remember that they re-released Vanquish and Bayonetta in a bundle package thing.
Mm,
And it was on super duper crazy sale on uh that's where I got it digitally only because of that, because I think it was like $10 for both of them or something
okay,
crazy to just own. And I never did
very worth it.
get Vanquish. I forget why I
Ooh,
never ended up like buying it just to own it, because I think I own it now. Technically, with that being digital, I think I own every platinum game that Sega did, or vice versa, whatever. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say.
I, I've got one. I've got one in my head. You may not own. I'm trying to
Try
remember.
me, sucker.
Okay,
It's gonna be like on
I just need
3DS
to.
or some bullcrap.
Yeah, it's on the. I think it was on the DS.
Oh, I was
I'm
joking, but
trying to see if I can remember the game's name. Hold on. What's
uh-oh,
this list of games?
my habits are falling onto Graham now because he's starting to sing. Oh God, I just punched my monitor. He's starting to sing his actions, narrate his actions in song through song.
Infinite Space.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna. I owned it. I did technically
Ah,
own it because I bought it for a friend.
okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I did not, because it
Yeah.
was like I bought it for a friend because one of my old roommates, shouts out to Bill. He loved playing Eve. Eve
Oh yeah.
Online. That's like a massive strategy game, like a universe. Are you familiar with that game at all, Graham?
I know it exists. I think I've
Okay.
seen some screenshots. I never
Yeah,
played it.
it is Spreadsheet the video game. That's literally what he told me when
Right.
I
Okay.
asked what it was. But from his descriptions of that, I learned of Infinite Space. I was like, oh, I know that Bill would like this. And like, I didn't even ask him about like if he would want it. I saw it at work once when I was at GameStop and I bought it and I handed it to him. I was like, this is this. I think you'll like it. He's like, whoa, thanks. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, I do very much enjoy that game. Thank you. So
That's good. That's good to
so
hear.
technically, I did own that game. But
Nice. Okay. Fair enough. That's
so
good. It's good you've heard of it.
yeah. That was the only reason why, that because it was Sega and Platinum. So no, yeah, it's a fun little thing. And one quick pickup here. I will. So I read Sonic comics. Everybody's reading comics. Everybody likes comics. And one way that the Archie series of Sonic comics, or just Archie Sonic, as people call it, released was through these like small graphic novel sizes.
Ooh.
They called them graphic novels or whatever. During lockdown, I got into those because I owned a couple, just because every time I owned a couple because as you do, like I would just find them here and there. I don't think I actively was getting them when they were releasing them, but I'd find them after the fact at comic shops and whatever, because it would normally be like, how many does this have? 79, 81, 82, usually 4 issues. Of the Sonic comic, and I was reading them. I was catching up on them and stuff, and it was a good way to just pass the time during lockdown. One more thing that I could order through. And it was an excuse to support. It was an excuse to spend money and know I'm supporting local shops. So I was like buying them through thrift books and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, anyway, there's some that are pricier than they need to be because they have whatever. There was one that I got up to, what volume is this? Okay, I got up to volume 20 and saw that the next one was the Sonic Adventure tie-in. So I'm like, oh, cool. I genuinely
Mm,
don't really remember much about that. They'd always do the game adaptations. There's like a Triple Trouble issue and a Sonic
okay.
CD story arc, and like Knuckles' introduction is basically sort of Sonic 3 in the comics and things like that. Very different from Sonic the comic that you had over there in the UK. They were just very different comics between Archie comics just in North America and Sonic the comic over there. But I learned of it, and so I'm like, oh, cool. I've been able to find these cheap enough. Let me see how much that runs for. These would release at $7.99, around $8.
Yeah.
And the one that has the start of the Sonic Adventure tie-in was going for anywhere from like 45 up to sometimes over $100 because people are stupid.
Wow.
Well, joke's on them because I got one with half a cover, but like
I bet it's
literally
ripped or really.
torn off at a random little library book sale flea market thing that Rachel and I went to.
That's a
So
clean cut. That looks like it's been cut off, not just ripped off. That's the
I mean,
pretty straight line.
I don't know. It's pretty mangled like here and there. But otherwise it's like it's fine on the
No,
inside.
actually,
And
yeah.
yeah, and the thing is, I'm sure I own these in the original comic book form, but I don't want to go digging through those boxes, which half of them are at my mom's house still, half of them are here, you know. So I was like, I just want the convenience. Heaven forbid I want to actually just read the story in this book. I'm not paying $45. So whatever. Take a wild guess how much this was, just how much I might have paid
Okay.
at a book. I don't know if you ever go to book sales, really, like in libraries in your neck of the woods.
Not hugely. So it's normally $7.99. That's what it retailed as originally.
Yeah, original
And they're
MSRP.
selling it 45 to 100 on like eBay or whatever. So, okay. I mean, obviously it's going to be cheaper than that. So I'm going to,
Yes.
because it's like secondhand, it's ripped and stuff. It's from you say from a library sale.
Yeah, they're just like getting rid of
Is
stuff
it like
and
$1?
donations. Less than that, sir. 50 cents for this bad boy.
Oh, that was actually going to be my first guess, but I thought it was too low. Okay, no,
Yeah,
nice.
what is that, like
Okay.
30p over there or something?
Yeah, that's like 30 pence. Yeah,
Ooh,
30 English
I'm learning.
pence. Or
Yeah,
p.
but I mean, I'm not even
Yeah.
bummed that like Rachel actually saw this and she just threw it in the Boxer bag that we were collecting stuff in. I was like, all right, cool, thanks. And then I was like, which one is that? 21. I'm like, that's the one I wanted. I don't care if this has no cover. I'm getting it right now, So yeah, it's kind
Oh,
of
no,
crazy.
that's really good. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some like especially the Knuckles, when Knuckles had his own comic, they released these are called sorry, I didn't even clarify that. It's called Sonic the Hedgehog Archives, and then it's volume
Okay.
whatever. This is volume 21. Knuckles had his own archives as well, which is like at one point the Archie comics just stopped, like full stop due to lawsuits and some garbage.
Oh,
It's yeah, you can look into it if you want. It's neither here nor there now, but that was why like whenever I finish one of these, I'm like, all right, what's the next one? Did it actually get put out? Because like the ads in the back were made months ahead of time, so they'd have
oh
the
yeah.
covers, but whether or not it actually got released. So that was yeah. And you know what? And I'll just future teaser for a next pickup. The next cover, it's like, oh gosh, it's got my boy Knuckles and then Supersonic on it. I was like,
Wow.
crap,
Yeah.
what's that one go for? And looked it up, and sure enough, I saw a mint whatever asking 250 on eBay. Like, screw you. And so, but I have one on the way. There's a definite cut in the cover, and someone was only selling it for $20. So I'm like, I'll just grab that, whatever.
Fair
So
enough. Yeah.
yeah, damaged goods. I don't care. I want to actually experience and play with the toy, you jerks.
Yeah.
Scalpers can go. There's a special layer of hell for you guys. Enjoy it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then I'll do my last pickup, which is a permanent pickup, and it's on my arm because I got another
Yeah.
tattoo today, and
Yeah, you
you're not gonna
did.
be able to see it that well unless Graham wants to share a Discord picture with you or something. But
I could pop up a Discord picture. It's pretty cool. Do you want me to describe it or?
yeah, so first year of the Dreamcast marathon that involved Extra Life, we had an incentive where if we raised more than $500, this was back in the Sega Addicts days, if we got more than $500 in donations, which is Extra Life supports Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And that means that when you donate to Extra Life, it goes to a children's hospital, and we would do a marathon every year, play Dreamcast for 24 hours. First year we did it with Extra Life involved. We said $500, we hit that thing, I'll get a tattoo. And I did, and that's this one that is the ring. I just touched my mic. Sorry if that picked up. But next to my Sonic and Knuckles tattoo, I have the ring box with, instead of like 10, I think it would say 10 on the ring boxes. I'm a fake fan. I can't even remember. But it says 500. I have a bunch of
nice.
plastic wrap on my arm, so it's hard to see anything since I got a tattoo this morning. And yeah, we got that, or I got that when we hit that. And so last year, long story short, I decided it was time for another tattoo, and I did not get one at an Extra Life event where they were doing free ones. I was bummed about that, and Rachel's like, "Why don't you do this?" And she thought of a great idea using the Extra Life logo, which is a controller with wings coming out of the controller, a game controller, and a halo above it, and it looks like you're, safely not copying an official controller design game controller, gamepad.
Yeah.
She suggested, my very smart and beautiful wife said, "Why don't you do that, but make it a Dreamcast controller, like the Dreamcast stencil of it?" And I was like, "That's a great idea." And so I did beat my goal last year of raising over $1,000. And this year marks 10 years that I have raised funds or donated to Extra Life. First marathon we did it with Sega Addicts was in 2016. It is now 2026. So I have that controller now on my arm above the box, which was a result of the first marathon we did with Extra Life. But yeah, so I got that this morning.
Here we go.
Shouts out to Aaron, my tattoo dude. He also did the crazy taxi for Rachel and I. That's above that. So it's continuing my Sega arm as well. But yeah, little Dreamcast controller.
It's really, honestly, I mean, yeah, I'm not a tattoo guy in that I don't think tattoos would suit me. So I've never had a tattoo, but that is a cool tattoo that I think I'd love to get. Basically, it's like that's something.
Well,
that is cool.
The thing is, here's the thing. No, tattoo artists, obviously they love what they do, but they always, most of the time, they prefer if you present them with an idea and let them design, let them use their art or whatnot. And so all I said to Aaron was, I want to combine a controller with this logo. Let me know what you think. And he drew that. I didn't give him like a mock-up Photoshop or anything that I did. He designed that using the resources I gave him. And then he suggested the blue, and the blue matches the license plate number on the Crazy Taxi tattoo above it, which that license plate number is Rachel's and my wedding date. So we both have that tattoo, and so that makes it pop a little bit once it's done healing and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my day.
So yeah, I guess with that, let's move into our Sega community news. Okay, so first up in the news, we have some updates about the DreamColorPlus controller. If you haven't been following us over the last few episodes, we've been talking a lot about the DreamColorPlus. It is a new, I guess, fan-made or indie-made Dreamcast controller, which includes a dual analog stick, basically. So it comes with a second analog stick, which is really exciting, but that's not all. It seems to have lots of other cool features. We already know it's got a built-in color VMU, and it's got the built-in rumble. It's Bluetooth. It works across multiple platforms, and we also mentioned in the last episode how it can play emulated games directly from the VMU screen. So it's basically like its own, the controller on itself is like its own handheld device, which is really awesome. Well, Louise Nye, he's one of the creators of the DreamColorPlus. He has been doing some updates on this from his Facebook account. There are also some updates on some YouTube accounts out there. He's been showing off some of the other cool features. So one thing I didn't know about, it actually has a built-in microphone, which is at the very bottom. So he's kind of showing it off in this video here. At the very bottom, underneath the start button on the Dreamcast controller, right underneath it, there is if you look at this, you can actually see like a little black dot area. That apparently is a microphone, so built in, so it can work with like Seaman, games like Alien Frontal Line, and a few other games that you can use the Dreamcast microphone for, which is really cool. It opens up the possibility as well for future games that may potentially use it, like homebrew and indie games. Also, as you're showing off right now on the screen, it has extra additional touch shoulder buttons. So the controller has the standard L and R triggers, but on the plastic bit of the controller that you normally have, that he's showing off that if you touch those, a little red light goes off, and it's indicating that you're pressing an extra shoulder button, which works on certain games. So he's actually just showing it off on GTA 3 there, and that's really awesome. It's really exciting to see all this stuff that's coming out. He's put up a few different videos sort of showing off on his Facebook some of the other features that the controller has, but it's just really exciting to see these other little bits and pieces that they're sort of revealing, and the microphone, the extra shoulder buttons. I'm very excited for when this comes out. So if you don't know about it, if you haven't backed it yet, if you go to, there's a website called Catarse. It's kind of like Brazilian Kickstarter almost. That's what I can, from my understanding. It's a bit different to Kickstarter. So the good thing about this is, even if this doesn't hit its target, backers will still receive their rewards. So if you are interested in this and you put up the money for it, essentially you are guaranteed the product, even if it doesn't hit the target. They're kind of doing this as a way to gauge the interest in the controller and how many parts they need to order and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different to Kickstarter. It's really cool. So basically, like, you're pre-ordering it. So yeah, we'll put the link in the show description, and want to give that a little update. This controller seems to basically be the all-in-one Dreamcast controller that you want to use. So I'm just really excited for when this comes out, and I've actually backed it. So when it comes out, I will hopefully be able to show you guys exactly what it's like. So very exciting. So this next game comes from a few different sources, and I'll explain kind of what I mean by that in a second. But from Saturn Shiro initially, there is an update about a game called Overserved, and it's coming to multiple platforms, including the Sega Saturn. Overserved is essentially, it's kind of like a food fighting variation on Bomberman. So a bit like Saturn Bomberman, or other Bomberman games as well, but they're comparing it to Saturn Bomberman. It's got like a 8-player multiplayer mode and stuff like that. And it works in a very similar way to the Bomberman games, where there are some blocks which are destructible, but also you're using weapons that sort of explode to destroy those blocks and take out your opponents, essentially. And it looks like it could be a really fun game. It is coming to multiple platforms, though. So it's been announced it's going to come to the Neo Geo AES Plus, the PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, tvOS, and Sega Saturn. But also, it has been revealed that they're looking at bringing it to the Dreamcast as well. But there is a little bit of caveat there, because it actually looks like we need to get about at least 1,000 people to add it to their want list on a website it's called Some Things, and it's something the developer set up that basically, if we get enough people to add it to their want list, they will consider porting it to the Dreamcast as well. So if you want to play a sort of Bomberman-style game that actually looks really good, I should also mention it's got the 8-player multiplayer, local and online. So potentially the Dreamcast version could get online. So that would be really awesome. And yeah, if you're interested in that sort of game, so I'll put the link in the description. But we need to get people to add it to their want list on this website to get it going. So at the moment, we've only got 15 people who sort of had it to their wants list. So we've still got a way to go. So hopefully we can get it there. So yeah, do your stuff, guys. Do your stuff. Okay, so this next bit of news I only found out the other day. It's this game called SuperSolar, which is a indie game developed by Ninja Dynamics for the Dreamcast. And it looks a bit like AfterBurner, essentially, like a kind of, that's the best way I can describe it, like an AfterBurner style arcade game. And if you're interested in playing it, they've actually put out a cool little website. So this website here, I'll put it in the show description, but essentially it allows you to play the game within your browser, and yeah, it's really cool that they say that it actually replicates the Dreamcast version. So this should be very similar to what the Dreamcast version is like. I don't know what the controls are, but yes, this is me playing it right now from my browser. And oh, there we go. I could do the missiles. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, if you want to try it out, yeah, check out that website, and you can test it out right in your browser. And yeah, that should be. It looks really good. It looks like a really cool game. So I don't know too much about it at the moment, but hopefully we can play it soon. Anybody who is a fan of the Sega Saturn and Sonic racing games, you should know about Sonic R, I hope. But yeah, if you don't know, Sonic R was a Sonic racing game on the Sega Saturn where you didn't have vehicles or anything. You actually ran along the tracks as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Robotnik, and some other various characters. And it was an interesting game. It's not a very long game, but it's got lots of replayability in it. The controls are a bit weird at the first, but once you get used to it, it's a really fun game. I know it does get a lot of hate these days for some reason, but it's actually a pretty cool game when you play it. But here's the thing. So, as you may or may not know, we've covered him multiple times on the show. A guy called J.N. Martin, who ports lots of games, mostly to the Dreamcast. He is working on a Dreamcast version of Sonic R, which is really awesome. So he has been decompiling the PC version and getting it to run on Mac OS, which is a great step. But yeah, he's looking into the Dreamcast version apparently. And so pretty exciting if you're into Sonic R and you want to play this game or a similar game like this on the Dreamcast. This could be worth looking out for. I just want to note as well, actually. So I know that J.N. Martin there's been a bit of controversy right now. So he's been doing a lot of ports and stuff for different consoles and decompiling projects. Essentially, it's been revealed that he does use AI to help with his decompiling and ports and stuff, which has still thrown a lot of criticism his way and some controversy. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of AI and stuff, but in some regard, this, to me personally, this is not speaking for Sega Spirit Show overall, but I'm just saying for me personally, I don't see it as a huge problem in this sort of situation because we're not paying for this. This is a fan project. He's not creating anything brand new. He's not using AI assets and stuff like that. He's not claiming to use AI art or anything like that. It's not like he's creating art and then it turns out it's AI or something. He's using AI as a tool to help with the decompiling and porting across to other platforms, which for like a one-man band or just a few people who might be working on these projects, that would take years to do normally. And he's been pumping out these ports quite swiftly, like just a few months at a time, really. So yes, it's controversial. Some people don't like AI. I'm not a huge fan of AI myself, but in this situation, I can understand the need for it. So basically, yeah, take that as you will, basically. But I'm excited for Sonic R coming to the Dreamcast, and I hope you guys are too. Okay, and next up, it's a new homebrew indie game that is coming to multiple platforms. This video is from the Sega Guru, and it's a game called Noah and the Poohloudies. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a very strange word. It's a 3D platformer, kind of from like the 64-bit, 32-bit era, that kind of style, like Mario 64 style game. That's what it seems like, at least. And in fact, some of the levels that they show off for some of the versions of the game do look very similar to the very first level of Mario 64, which I think is quite cool. Because here's the thing, it's coming out on lots of platforms, some you don't really think about, but it's coming out on the Dreamcast and Sega Saturn. That's why we're talking about it on the show. But it's also coming out on the 3DO, PlayStation 1, N64, and even the Nokia N-Gage, if you believe it. And it's looking really good, especially for like an indie game. So it's a 3D platformer. As I say, so kind of from that generation, that's what it looks like. It's that vibe and stuff of like Mario 64, maybe a bit of Spyro the Dragon. And yeah, there's the Sega Guru has put out a video sort of showing off the different versions of the game, basically. So you can actually see like the Dreamcast version and compare it to like the N64. So this is like, so now we're looking at the N64 version, which obviously doesn't look quite as crisp as the Dreamcast version. And there's so you've got the PlayStation 1 version. So if you look at this, it actually does look a lot like Mario 64's opening level. Like there's the way the level's laid out and structured there. Essentially, this first level. So we also got the N-Gage as well, which which I just think looks really cool. Like, well, it's cool. They kind of got this running on the N-Gage, which I think is quite fun. And we've also got the Saturn version. So actually, let's do a bit of a console war. Let's compare the PlayStation 1 to the Saturn version. So this is the PS1 version here. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty decent. And then the Saturn version looks equally good as well, actually. It's yeah, I can't really tell much of a difference to the eye. They both look fantastic. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure if we looked into it in more detail, we could see some differences. But yeah, this is looking really good. And yeah, so that was kind of like, those were actually kind of tech demos, essentially, what we just looked at there for those levels. But the future vision is what we're seeing here, which is like the Dreamcast version, which I believe is the one that the Dreamcast and N64, I believe, are further along than the other versions. And yeah, so this game has actually been in development for a few years now. I think it's like 3 or 4 years at least. But this is a big update that's sort of come out recently in the last few weeks. So very exciting. I'd love to get my hands and play on this. And I should probably say the developer is someone called Wilfredo Abijon. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. And I'm looking forward to it. This is looking really cool. So yeah, Noah and the Poohloudies. Check it out if you can. Okay, and finally, this last bit of, it's not exactly news as such, but it's kind of almost like an awareness building thing, I guess, for the Dreamcast community, that if you are interested, there's a developer on YouTube. He goes by Espirral V or Espirral V or 5, the Roman numeral for 5, I guess. But yeah, Espirral, let's call him Espirral. He's made this engine for the Dreamcast called the, I want to say Phenom engine. It's spelled PH3, as in the number 3, NOM. So I think it's pronounced Phenom engine. And he's showcasing various games from different platforms, some of them slightly more advanced platforms than the Dreamcast, but they're running in the Dreamcast, basically. And I just want to give you a quick show of some of the more recent stuff he's put out there. So, for example, about a month ago, he put out a video showcasing Windfall Island from The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and on the Dreamcast, basically. So this is not a demo of the game. It's not the game running, but it is a technical demo sort of showcasing the environments that can be built in the Phenom engine running on the Dreamcast. And it looks really cool. I mean, it looks really good. These are big, quite often it's showing off big, open 3D environments, lots of details, lots of things going on. And even though there's no animation, there's no characters moving as such in some of these videos, it looks really cool. So another video, just to sort of give you an idea, he also worked on an area of Final Fantasy 12, and it's looking pretty good. It's like a big open, I've never actually played Final Fantasy 12, so excuse my ignorance. It's like a big open, almost like arena with like columns and stuff around, some really impressive like temple ahead, which is almost like a steampunk gothic temple. That's the best way I can describe it. But he's got the camera sort of floating around freely, like looking around at the environment, and it's looking impressive. Like there's a lot of detail going on. There's a bit of graininess here and there, but at the same time, this looks phenomenal, especially for like in a homebrew engine on the Dreamcast. More recently, he showcased Skyloft from the starting island from Legend of Zelda, the Skyward Sword. And in this, you actually have a model sort of Link, actually a playable Link, basically running around the island, sort of looking around. Basically, there's no other characters around, but he's recreated the island, the floating island that you start off at on the Dreamcast in his engine. there's a lot of pop-up here and there, but it's still looking incredible. Like, this is so cool, especially for like a tech demo. Like, very impressive. And more recently, he's also been messing around with Mario Galaxy levels. So this is like the opening area of Mario Galaxy where you're sort of running along, like sort of, I guess it's like a town village area, like a road basically at the very start of the game. You've got a playable version of Mario. Yeah, the jumping and stuff, it's not quite game accurate, you know, but it's looking really cool. So you can actually run up to the palace and stuff. And it's looking impressive. And then he's gone even further. So he's also put out another video, more from Mario Galaxy, running around different areas. So if I skip forward, you can see like giant Bowser in front of the castle and stuff. That's like animated. He's also sort of tried to recreate some of the actual levels where you've actually got like a floating, you know, almost like the floating little planets that you run around on and stuff. I think the actual gravity that's used isn't quite right in this because he does actually fall off at one point in the video. There we go, he's falling off now. But yeah, he's created some other areas and it's looking cool. So basically what he's doing with this engine is he's showcasing these big open environments, recreating them from other games, more advanced systems, some of them, to sort of show that the Dreamcast can actually handle these large environments pretty well. So he's not actually porting these games, just to be clear. It's just like a kind of a test thing. But potentially, like if someone is making games using this engine, we can see some really cool stuff. So hopefully he will start to make some games using this engine, and we get some great 3D homebrew Dreamcast games coming out of it because it's looking gorgeous. Yeah, I'm just really impressed by this. So yeah, just want to give a bit of an update on that and just something to look out for, essentially. So yeah. There we go. And that's it for the news this week. So, yeah, let's go back to the studio. Oh, there we are. Scotty's got his many boxes of Panzer Dragoon Zwei there, and I've got my solo copy. They go, what have you got? Have you got the Japanese version? And is that 2 American versions you got? Like,
I have owned this for a while. And what's awesome is it still has a $10 price tag on it. I should probably take off. Big old long boy. You got to label this. Long boy, long box, North American Zwei. The disc got pretty scratched up, and so since I had an action replay, I went and grabbed the Japanese version, significantly cheaper nowadays. So that one is what I have. The other one was, if we are going to talk about the remake at all, I have the remake of the first one to show support for the remakes, despite them being meh. But yeah, that was just an excuse to hold everything up. But yeah, nice. So I have not because I'm a super collector, but because like it was just significantly cheaper to just buy another thing, and it's a game that you can get through and not. Hey, you might want to know what's going on with the story maybe a little bit, but gameplay wise, you know, it doesn't matter what language it's in because it's an on-rail shooter, which Graham is about to tell you about.
Oh yeah, daddy-o. Right, so switching my cameras back. There we go. So yes, yeah, for those who don't know, Panzer Dragoon Zwei. What is Panzer Dragoon Zwei? Actually, let's get a video playing in the background while we're doing this. Yeah, so do this. Yeah, so Panzer Dragoon Zwei, if you don't know, it was released in 1996 for the Sega Saturn exclusively, and it was developed by Team Andromeda and published by Sega. And it's the second game released in the franchise, but it is actually narratively a prequel to the original Panzer Dragoon game, if you didn't know that. So it was released in Japan on March 22nd, 1996, North America, April the 17th, 1996, and in PAL regions, it was May the 10th, 1996. And that is part of the reason why we are covering it today, because it is actually around the 30th anniversary of this game, which is very exciting. So yeah, by the time this episode comes out, it should have been, well, nearly, it would have been released in America, maybe released in PAL regions. I don't know how quickly I'm going to edit this, but yeah, very exciting times. So if you don't know, it's directed and produced by Tomohiro Kondo, and music is by Yayoi Wachi. I think I'm getting those names right. And also, technically, Scotty, I don't know if you know this game is not an on-rail shooter. According to Sega, it is called dramatic shooting. That is the genre they class it as, apparently. But it is an on-rail shooter.
I prefer to live off the rails then. What does that mean?
Dramatic shooting. I love it.
Holy crap. I just looked at the credits in the manual, in the instruction manual that I have, and the last credit in it before this, I'm sorry to already derail us on rail shooter, but the look who's credited for the manual. Oh, it's not going to.
Let's make you bigger.
Do you see that name?
Does that say John McClane?
John McClane. He saves the Nakatomi Plaza, and then he wrote the instruction manual for Panzer Dragoon Zwei.
Brilliant. There we go.
That's all right. There you go. That's all.
But yeah, just to give an overview of the actual game, it's set before the first game. It follows a young chap called Lundi, who is a villager who rescues what they call a coolia, a mutant coolia, which are often seen as bad omens. But this one has wings and like a glowing light in its sort of neck throat area, and he names it Lagi and saves it from being killed by the other villagers. And yeah, essentially an ancient airship that comes along called the Shellkoof destroys Lundi's village, and that's when Lagi reveals these dragon-like powers and abilities, like an iconic laser breath of the ancient age. And there's also a side story with a conflict between the Empire and this other force called the Mechanica. And basically, Lundi and Lagi pursue the Shellkoof in revenge, like seeking revenge. But there's other stuff happening. And that's kind of like the overview, I guess. So that's kind of sets you off on your journey, I guess, in a way. And so I guess we'll get into, I guess, a bit more about the game as we go through this. But I want to sort of bring like my first experience with the game, if that's okay, Scotty. I had this game on the Saturn, not directly when it first came out, because I actually bought it after Panzer Dragoon Saga. I already owned the original game, which I thought was okay. I thought it was fine. I didn't love the original game, I have to admit. I thought it was good, but not great.
Launch game for the Saturn.
And then I love Panzer Dragoon. So Panzer Dragoon Saga is my favorite game of all time. I knew of Zwei before Saga, but I got Saga first for reasons. And then eventually I got Panzer Dragoon Zwei. And I loved it. I thought this is brilliant. I just remember actually playing through the game at my friend's. I owned a Saturn. My friend owned a Saturn. I took the game round to his house, and we played at his house like non-stop for like a weekend, just like trying to beat it and stuff, and just could not get enough. I distinctly remember I think it's the 4th level boss, the fish, which we'll probably talk about a bit later.
Okay.
That's like a core memory of mine of playing this game, just being so impressed by that.
Okay.
Years since I played this game. I probably haven't played it enough, to be fair. Years since I actually sat down and tried to play it through. So coming back to it, this last week or so I was very rusty, I must admit. But yeah. So I mean, Scotty, did you have much experience back in the day with this, or?
No, I played the first one a good bit here and there. It was I didn't have the Saturn at launch, but I had Panzer Dragoon. I remember. I don't remember where or when, because most Saturn games I can at least remember the purchase or something. But I just know that I've owned the first game for as far back as I can remember. I do have. Speaking of core memories, I do have a core memory of playing. My first experience playing the Saturn flat out was playing the first Panzer Dragoon in a Sears department store when they existed and they had electronic sections, like on a demo unit thing. But Zwei, I don't know. I don't even know when I bought this one sitting in front of me, but so I don't really have as much nostalgia. I think honestly, now that I say this out loud, I might have the most nostalgia for Panzer Dragoon Saga, because that was like a summer of my childhood on and off.
Yeah.
Now, did you say you bought Saga first out of the 3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No, 2003. No, I owned Panzer Dragoon before I had Saga.
okay, okay.
But I was actually late. I forgot. I was actually late getting my Saturn anyway. I had an
Hmm.
N64 before I had a Saturn.
Yeah, well, there's your
Sort of.
first problem. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know
Uh,
why that came about because I was obviously more of a Sega fan back in the day. Even back in the day, I was more of a Sega fan. Like all my consoles were Sega, and then I went for the N64, which I don't regret.
mhm.
And I bought my Saturn off a friend. I think that's how I got Panzer Dragoon. I think he had a copy of Panzer Dragoon, and when I bought
Sure.
his Saturn, I got Sega Rally, Panzer Dragoon, and like one other game. And so,
That's
yeah,
a
I think
good
that's
starting set
why.
there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I played Sega Rally non-stop. It's still my favorite racer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
with Zwei though, no, I don't really have. I don't. Other than playing it for a marathon a couple years ago, I'm not sure how much I've actually played Zwei, to be honest with
Okay.
you, and before
Yeah.
playing it for this episode.
Fair
So
enough. Yeah.
yeah,
But we played it this last
yep,
week or two. So yeah, I mean, do you want to just dive straight into that? Do you want to go into talk more about your gameplay now?
sure. I don't have anything to share. I didn't stream it and or anything like that. I did. I recorded stuff, but it wasn't. Nothing crazy happened. I did have a kind of WTF moment that we'll eventually get to probably, but Um, yeah, this just I have played the first one a good bit. I've played Saga a couple times, and this one I had the least experience with, but man, it feels better than the first game.
Mm.
As soon as you immediately it feels better than the first game. I tried it with first I tried it with a 3D control pad or the Saturn 3D controller, and then I tried it with, the regular one, which it definitely worked better. Oh, we're holding up
Oh,
our stuff.
it's like the
Um,
size of my head. Sorry, just my
yep,
3D
there you go.
controller, perfect for my head.
Um, it felt a little better with the D-pad, and I would mess with like, okay,
Mm.
since you're flying, should I invert it? I was kind of going back and forth between that, and then finally I was just like, this is not. And we discussed the button, the 3D control, the that one's issue with the Berserk ability
Yeah,
and other stuff. But I did also
we'll
try
get
it
onto that
with
a bit
the
later as well. Actually,
yeah, I did also try it with the Saturn Flight Stick, which is the giant flight stick.
yeah.
It's a joystick. It's a as if you are flying an airplane or something. And I tried it on both sides. Like I tried it by default. I don't know why by default, honestly. Maybe because more people are right hand dominant, but by default it is set up with the stick on the right and then face buttons on the left, with L and R also being face buttons. I had it set up the other way from forever ago playing Vigilant Paradise.
Mm.
So, because all you have to do is unscrew the thing and like move it over, literally. But both ways, it didn't feel great. It was like, this is so loosey goosey, but it does not, but the dragon does not, or your cursor does not move as quick as this does. It was almost like
Oh, okay.
using a mouse with lag or something. Um, and it felt weird rotating the camera with face buttons. Like this is basically like a keyboard here with
Yeah.
the face buttons and the L and R. So I wasn't a fan. I remember doing this for a marathon just for the sake of like showing off this stick. Because the flight stick does not wake up and work with every Saturn game. It only works with some, and it does not mention it in the manual anywhere for this game, but it does work with Spy just automatically. But wasn't a fan, and I thought, you know what? I've loaded this onto my Poly Mega. Let's see how that feels. And honestly, I think I prefer. Do I have one over here just to show up or show the camera just in case? No, of course I don't. Of course it's downstairs. Why would I ever be prepared for this podcast, Graham? Um, all right. Basically, a PS4 controller is a Poly Mega controller. I sit corrected. I found found a Poly Mega controller. But it
There you go.
is literally a PS4 controller, but the difference is the face buttons say A, B, X, Y. But so the way it auto maps like a Saturn controller being, you know, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, it maps them as A, B, C, X, Y,
Oh,
Z. So I mean, it makes sense because these two shoulder controllers, yep, these two shoulder buttons would be as if you have two more um, no, that doesn't make entire sense, but you know what I mean. Anyway,
Yeah.
L1 is X. The top face button is Y. And then, oh, you know what? It's Y on here. So maybe that's why they do it like that also. And then R1 is Z.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Okay.
you know,
Yeah, that does make sense.
L1's
Yeah.
X, Y is Y, R1's Z, duh. And
It-
X is
yeah.
A is B, B is C, duh. No. But the other shoulder things that still rotate the cameras. But that actually worked better because it prevented me from accidentally hitting the Berserk button since it was I like to
Okay.
had to like physically go out of my way to hit the Berserk button either on the top face
Yeah.
button or L1 R1. But honestly, the stick, and if you have not loaded it on your Polymega, I don't know if that's even convenient for you, but I'd recommend giving it a shot on here because this stick actually felt the best out of the options controller wise for
Hmm.
this
Okay. I
game.
might need to give it a try.
So yeah, I
Yeah, I don't
had
think I
that's how
have
I was
played it.
getting my crazy scores that I showed you and stuff. But anyway, barely talked about the game. I just discussed four controllers. I could honestly, that's a topic I could honestly talk about forever is like controller preferences and things. Um, but I say all the time, talking about that sweet butter. The game itself feels good. The aiming system feels solid, and I think there were parts where I was like, "Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to, do that?" But it's a run-based game. It's an arcadey game. You could try to go for a score, but really the levels are they could be like 5 minutes long,
Hmm.
as you're going through. If you know what you're doing, you can kind of not speed through them, but if you know what you're doing, if you know the patterns, you can kill enemies ahead of time and things like that. So you can really zip through. It has a lot of replayability, and I enjoy that about it. I was having trouble with it before I switched to the Poly Mega, but I think there might have been some outside forces with that. Um, as I don't, was I complaining to you about it? I don't remember if I was really complaining about the game. I don't, just that one boss that was, or no, one level that is just a boss, and it was just I can't remember now. I could
Yeah,
just open Discord, but I was having some trouble at some point, I think.
you're having trouble with that.
I found before I switched to I found overall that I kind of just felt better playing on the Poly Mega. Like I was having
Yeah.
a
Okay.
better time overall. It was strange to me. That the Poly Mega has my Japanese version because I mentioned the North American one's too scratched up. And the controller felt better, but before that, the D-pad honestly did feel good on the standard Saturn gamepad. What I found though, playing on the Poly Mega, I I thought it was doing okay. I do enjoy on-rail shooters overall. I should point out because I mean I love Virtua Cop, I love House of the Dead. Those are on-rail shooters, and Star Fox is probably like top Nintendo series, one of the top Nintendo series for me. If it wasn't clear, I just love arcadey feeling
Hmm.
games also. But on the Poly Mega, it felt pretty good, and I was kind of cruising through levels. But it wasn't until like the score screen, the final results screen, that I was sharing with you that I was like, I'm kind of doing really well at this game.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah. You
normally
you
do
had
well at video games.
you had like
So,
a high like is it 90%, like because
uh,
it tells you your hit tally.
yeah, what is
Like
it?
it's not your actual accuracy, it's down to how many enemies you kill. So yeah, like you're in the 90%.
Right.
Uh
That's why I
yeah.
thought I wasn't doing that well because I thought it was tallying your accuracy the way like a virtual cop does, where you're
Hmm.
hitting the bad guys, and when you miss, that decreases your accuracy. Whereas this, your accuracy is dependent upon just how many enemies you kill, not how many shots you fire at them and whether or not they hit. Which
Yeah.
that once I realized that, I literally did not realize that until after beating the game. But because that's why I was like, my percentages are really high. I don't understand, and it gives you a dragoon rank as well,
Yeah.
which I think it's you start by default as like pigeon, I think. Uh,
Can't remember. Yeah.
so that was I don't know, it was cool, and I enjoyed playing the game. I enjoyed it overall, and I played it a second, or I started it up a second time. Um, but yeah, I had a good time with it. I mean, I don't have too many in-depth notes because it is a relatively straightforward game as well. There was
Yeah.
one boss I'll mention was one of the airships. It might have been the first airship you fight. Yeah, it was the first airship you fight where at one point we'll probably eventually see it through your gameplay here, but it's throwing like green barrels at you, or it's like dropping
Mm.
these green barrels that almost look like the shotgun shells in Virtua Cop or something.
Yeah.
But it's like it's the final attack, like its final barrage of stuff. And it was one of those moments where I killed the boss, and as it was dying, one of those barrels came off screen and killed me. And I was so mad. I have the footage, but I was like, I'm not gonna bother uploading and like rendering all this crap to have 3 seconds for this. So maybe I can get it to you and you can put it in post or something. But
Okay.
it was like I was like, where did that even come from? And so the next time through, I did realize that if you have the camera facing only forwards, you don't see that one of those barrels does go to your right and hit you off screen. So if I was just rotated to the right, I would have seen it
Uh,
coming. But
okay.
but it
Uh,
but the fact that it came like out of frame and killed me, it felt so cheap.
yeah,
That was
that
that.
is annoying.
Yeah, that was the only time I was legitimately mad at this game. Uh, I didn't even get as mad at the final boss, but the final boss did feel like some malarkey at some points. But yeah, no, I
Yeah.
enjoyed my time with it overall, and I could definitely see myself playing this through. I don't think I'll ever get 100% in this game, but I could see
Mm.
myself playing it through again just to maybe beat a high score or something.
Yeah, I think it take a lot of practice to get 100%. I can talk about it a little bit later as well because I've actually got a clip of something that you unlock later, which in theory should help you get 100%, and I did
Oh,
not get 100%.
I was gonna mention unlockables. I forgot. I was a little annoyed. I was looking up cheats after I finished it, or not looking up
Oh, yeah.
cheats, looking up just unlockables. And because I remembered that I couldn't remember which one of these games it had something based on save data from another game, because this was the era when games did that, or if you had almost similar to like Metal Gear Solid when Psycho Mantis says like, "Oh, he reads your mind," quote unquote, in Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid, and he says if you have basically a Konami game saved on your memory card, he'll be like, "I see you really enjoy Castlevania," Mwahaha.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss crap like that. But this one, if you have a save of, I think Saga, it'll unlock the Pandora's box. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, darn it. I definitely have not played Saga at all on my Polymega, and I don't think it would work anyway on the Polymega. So that in my brain, I was like, I have the Polymega for game preservation for my library, but like I can't fully access certain things like that, and it annoys me. So
Mm.
maybe I'll play it again on the Satiator, and yada yada.
Yeah. Well,
So
what's weird is I definitely have played Panzer Dragoon Saga. I'm sure I played it with this memory card I got because I played on a real Saturn,
yep.
but using a satiator because my actual CD drive on the Saturn's dead. So I need the satiator to actually play games now. But
And yours still
yeah,
works. You have a backup memory
I've got
card
the
in the
backup memory
cartridge
thing, which
slot. Yeah.
that works, yeah. But I'm sure I've got a safe. I didn't double check. But I'm sure I've got a save file of Saga on this, and
Ow.
I didn't unlock Pandora's box straight away.
My,
So maybe I don't have the save file on this one, but I thought I did.
I hate to
But
say this, but check your memory card because I have two action replays now because one of them just periodically does not load. It's never lost
okay,
data, but sometimes it just does not load.
okay,
So
yeah,
it's
maybe I'll
really
have to look into
aggravating.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I
nice.
enjoyed it. What about you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, so yeah, there's surprisingly there's a lot I'd forgotten about this game. I had briefly played the first two levels over and over again for when I recorded that for a previous episode when I recorded the demo footage for
The
the
remake
remaster that's coming out, the remake that's coming out
or
later
right?
this year.
Yeah, whatever the hell.
So I did a comparison. If you haven't seen it, this for the audience. If you haven't seen it, go back a few episodes. I actually show gameplay footage of Zwei versus the remaster, like next to each other, basically. Yeah, I played the first two levels over and over again just because of that demo. And I hadn't played any of the other levels for like so long, like years and years and years, and I'd forgotten a lot of stuff. And yeah, I was loving it. It was like I was playing a game for the first time. I'd completely forgotten about level 5. Like I think it's level 5 and level 6. Just wiped from my memory. I was like, when I got to those levels, like, whoa, what's going on?
I will say, I forgot to mention this. It's really impressive and really cool how different each level is, each chapter.
Yes.
So,
oh yes, yeah.
for as short of a game as this is, and also how barren the world is, it does a good job of having different environments.
Does a really cool job of that. Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up a little bit later.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's something. No, that's fine. No, that's cool. We can. I guess I'll just quickly sort of say,
This is the guy that drops his barrels. Sorry, we have Graham's gameplay as going as we're talking here.
Yeah. Okay, actually, let's just talk about this boss very quickly. I love what they did with this boss in that, like, as you're destroying bits are falling off it, and they can actually hit you and hurt you. Like, you shoot the gun off it, and it falls down on you and stuff. And then the way it also just moves. It's such a well designed boss because it's like, bits of it open up to like start firing more missiles at you and stuff. And
it's like the alien ship or the in Aliens, the second Alien movie, that like transporter ship. It has the things, the missile launchers that unfold like a opposite DeLorean's doors. I don't even know.
Basically, an upside down DeLorean, basically. And there's like little bits with like attached by chains on the side that actually sort of dangle and wave around. If you see that, like that's just, they did such a good job with this. Like for a 32-bit game. Like I think it's brilliant, and like when you hit it, you actually see it shake and things like that. It's such a fun opening boss. Basically,
it feels impactful when you're doing damage. Is the biggest thing.
Definitely, yeah, and that's what I like in these sort of games where you feel like you actually are doing some damage, basically. But yeah, I'd forgotten a lot about this game, and I had a blast replaying it. So this gameplay footage I've got, which I uploaded to YouTube, which I actually might need to re-upload for some reason. It's showing in lower quality, so we'll sort that out later. But basically, I went through and tried to do the best route you could do. So
you're doing it right here because the barrels I just talked about didn't even happen because you killed the boss so fast.
Oh yeah, I've done this boss multiple times now. I know what I'm doing.
He's a pro, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so if just to explain to the audience, if you don't know, there are certain levels that have multiple routes in them. So or they call them episodes, even though they're levels. Episode 2, 3, and 4 have multiple routes for them. Episode 2 only has 2 routes. One of them, which is the one I did, route 2 on this one, where you basically fly through the sky for a bit and shoot down a lot of flying enemies. If you go route 1, you go through like basically a military base, and you're on the ground for most of it. Which is then basically the whole thing is the better route or the higher route number you take, the more points you get. And I need to double check this. So I actually got this in my notes. Apparently, multiple sources have said, depending on the route you take, the boss that you fight at the end of the level changes. Because you sometimes get different enemy types that you fight through that route, but then apparently the way the boss interacts with you changes. But I can't find any footage for all the levels. So all the levels that have different routes in, depending on the route that you take, the way the boss attacks you and stuff is different. So there might be more challenging because you've taken a more difficult route. Because normally the high route number indicates a tougher route that you've taken. But I can't find any solid information on this. But multiple sources sort of just mention, it changes the boss. And like, what does it change? It doesn't. There's no information that tells you what it changes.
Weird.
But I did notice. I'm sure I did notice. Maybe it's subliminal that if I did route 1 versus route 2, the boss would be harder on route 2 for some reason. But I'm not sure if it's just in my head now. But episode 2, episode 3. So this is episode 3 in the forest. That has 2 routes as well, and then episode 4 has 3 routes. So there are basically 3 different routes you can take through that level. I don't know how to get to route 2 though. I've never worked. I probably should just Google it. But I knew route 1. I knew route 3. I don't know route 2. So
I had a
just a
hard
root
time
tree.
figuring those out. Like, I had a hard time. The first level, it's kind of obvious where the different routes are
Mm,
because you can't. That is the biggest difference between the first game and this one. The first game, it's one path, I think,
mhm.
for the whole thing, and this
Yeah,
one, you can take different routes. And I sometimes it feels like it's whether or not you kill a certain enemy. Sometimes it feels like whether or not you're facing a certain way and maybe like wedge yourself in a direction that goes
yeah. So in
somewhere.
fact, if I pause it right now, don't know if you can see it on the screen. I don't. Can you see my cursor on the
Oh,
screen there?
barely. Yeah, I can see that there are
So
different. Like
that
this is
thing
a
there is like a
forest level that's pretty lush and green and everything.
yeah. I mean, the quality for some reason the quality of this upload is not
That's
as high
okay.
as it should be. But that thing there is like a tree, and these are like bushes. And at this point, it's not very clear at all. But there's actually two paths here. So if you
Hmm.
kind of stay forward or stick to the right, you go on the route one. But if you really lean to the left, you go on route two. So yeah, it flashes up saying route two for me.
Oh,
There you
interesting.
go. And yeah, and then you got trees in the path, like you shooting between the trees again and stuff. But this changes some of the enemies that attack you now. So there's like instead of I think instead of some big worm things or something, you get
Yeah,
this big giant thing comes along now. There we go.
I've
And you actually go back
never
to you
seen
go
this
to the
enemy.
ground. Yeah. So yeah, you did get different enemy
Wow.
types and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I
Oh,
love it.
yeah, now you're
It's
running instead of flying. That's cool.
yeah.
But see,
Um,
that's also too it's uh oh, my brain. My the dictionary in my head is gone today. To a cool thing about it is the paths are not obvious, but
mm,
what is cool about that is that it does not break the flow of the game. Because if this is
yeah.
made, I almost with guarantee you they are going to do this in the remake. I did not play the demo of it. That they'll have like a arrow or something. They're going to make it super duper obvious for gamers to see where an alternate path is.
I will give for just to play devil's advocate there because I have played the demo. They did not do that in the demo, so I'm
Mm,
hoping they won't do it in the final game. So we'll see. But maybe some levels it will be clearer because on like this level in particular, it's kind of hard to tell because it's kind of you got these basically pixelated trees in the way.
yeah,
So maybe they'll make it clear in the new version. But yeah. But
maybe.
yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, this video it tries to show the best routes you can take throughout the game, and yeah. So I just let's actually I just want to touch upon I guess the storytelling and stuff of this game versus say other games out there, or like from your experience. Um, like how do you feel like about the storytelling in this? Because I have opinions, but I want to hear what what you feel about it.
I'm kind of lukewarm on it. It just happens in between levels, and
Mm.
there's it has cutscenes. This is when in video games there were CG cutscenes that look completely different from the in-game graphics. But it does just have it'll have subtitles. I don't remember if it happens during gameplay or not. If there's ever any subtitles, I honestly can't remember. But
No,
I,
there's
nothing
not from
during.
memory.
Okay.
I think at the end of like a couple of levels, it will still be gameplay footage, but you're not playing the game, and you just have a
Oh
little bit of
yeah.
narration at the bottom.
Right.
But yeah, otherwise it's all told through CGI. So yeah, it kind of uses a mix of in-engine visuals and pre-rendered CGI sequences at different points.
Hmm.
And just for the audience, the story it's basically told through Lundy's the main character's thoughts. Basically, like he
Mm, yeah.
narrates basically most of it in his head, and it kind of that's how it tells the story as you progress through the game. Um, but yeah,
I think it did it fine.
so it's weird though. I like how they do it, but um, if you actually go to like resources like Sega Retro or I'm trying to think of other websites that I've forgotten the other names of the other websites I've used, like Panzer Dragoon Fandom and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Panzer Dragoon Legacy or whatever I can't remember what it's called now. Sorry.
I think that's it.
They give more of an overview of the story, and some of it I just did not pick up on while I was playing it. Like I'd forgotten
Oh,
about most of the story anyway, but I understand that you've got a dragon that you sort of rescue and stuff, and there's like the Empire and there's other forces who like fighting as well. But I did like they go into like loads of information about like more of the backstory. I guess I'm like, where did they get this from? I think it must be in the manual or something. But it's not told in the story. That's the thing. It's like the story doesn't explain it all, which sometimes I like, but I was a bit like, where these people got this information from. So like one of the things says like this is, I'm just going to read a quick description. Like the game is set prior to the original Panzer Dragoon against the backdrop of a war between the Empire and led by its sixth emperor and the nation of Mechania over remnants of the ancient age. Jean-Luc Lundy lives in a superstitious village where mutant cooliers are killed as unlucky omens. Lundy defies the village tradition by adopting a mutant coolier with wings and glowing green throat, naming it Lagi. After Lagi is fully grown, Lundy takes the coolier out to get him to fly, while Lundy takes Lagi out. An automated ancient age ship called Shellcoof destroys Lundy's village. Lagi fires Shellcoof later. Okay. So that's actually a lot of stuff we had to cover that. But the whole thing about like led by its sixth emperor and all that stuff, don't know where that came from.
There's nothing in the manual. I'm an idiot. It was I think the pages got stuck together in the beginning here. There's a couple. There's like 2 pages worth of info and story.
There's another one which talks about how like Lundy takes Lagi outside. A battleship called Shellcoof, controlled by Sestron, destroys Lundy's village in an attempt to kill Lagi, who is possessed by the Dragon program. Like, where did that information come from? That's not in the game at all.
I downloaded the Dragon program again. We're out of luck here.
Like, who's Sestron? And there's nothing about Lagi being possessed by the Dragon. Some of the information that you find online, I don't know where it came from because it's not in the game. So if that is part of the story, they did not explain that in the game. That's my point there. It's like you're missing bits.
I cannot read Japanese, so I don't know what the Japanese manuals tell me, but it's in full color, so
that's
the crappy, cheapy North American one.
We can do a Boxart comparison actually in a little bit because I'm glad you've got that.
Yeah, sure.
You got the other versions.
Whoa! Oh, what? Look at this. There's a whole freaking meter of your dragon ranking.
Oh my god, dude! This is something I want to talk about as well.
For some reason, this is in English, but Pigeon is at the bottom there.
Whoa.
So
is that's not in the English?
Dude, there's like 12 things above the one that I got, and I thought that was pretty high.
Okay, so
do we want to save that or what?
So just to explain to the audience, at the end of the game, you get like a dragon ranking, basically, and it's
end of each level.
At the end of each level, but also at the very end of the game, it gives you your overall ranking and stuff. And depending on how well you play the game, apparently, you get these different rankings.
Yeah,
I was trying to find a list of them online before this episode, and I even found forums talking about where there's no list posted online anywhere.
Really?
You freaking manual in your Japanese manual. It's there. This is amazing.
Yeah, let's put it behind a paywall.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem to be in the British or the
PAL folks. We're not going to put it behind a paywall. It is not in the English manual as well, or either, I should say, North American. Yeah. What is anything? That's Oh, I just lost it.
So cool.
But it is cool that this is in color as well.
Can you just bring up the rankings again?
Let me get back to that. Sure. Whoop.
Okay, so you got Lunatic. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it starts at Pigeon, very bottom. Do you want to read them, or I can read them, or what do you want to do? Go from like
I can. Do we want to read through all of them, or?
I think so because some of them are funny, and it won't take long. Okay. I can do it if you want.
So it's kind of based on your overall shot down ratio throughout the game for your final ranking. It starts off on 0% going up to 100. It starts on Pigeon, Weakling, Grunt, Rookie, Peevish, Hunter, Captain, Master, Hitman, Assassin, Exterminator, Predator, Raider, Officer, Gunner, General, Defender, Dominator. Gladiator, Destroyer, Lunatic, Berserker, Dragoon, Weapon Master, Vanguard, Sniper, Dragon Warrior, and that Dragon Warrior is at 95%, and then above that to 100%, it's all question marks.
Yeah.
So there's like 5 or 6 that are question marks there.
5 more, yeah.
5, yes, 5 there that are question mark.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So Scotty got Lunatic. I managed to get Sniper on one of them, but that was actually using something from Pandora's box, basically, to get Sniper, which is one of the highest.
Oh, really? Where's Sniper?
Yeah, I also got Predator at one point. Which is
you got Sniper, so that's like 94% according to this weird thing.
Yeah, I can talk about that a bit later because it's
right.
It's almost like using a cheat to do that. But I also got Lunatic at one point, but I also got Predator, thinking Predator was good, but it's quite low down on that list.
I don't remember
that's really
seeing...
cool that you've got that there.
I remember seeing Grunt, I think. I don't remember seeing, or I just wasn't looking at the word as each level progressed, but there are 32 rankings here. There's 27 listed that we just read, and then 5 rows of question marks. There's 32 freaking rankings in this game.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Really cool, though. I like that. I like these touches they did. They did some really cool touches.
I'll send you a picture of it just so you have. I'm looking for my phone. It's my camera, idiot. Yeah.
Oh, man. Brilliant.
You want to...
Love it.
There we go. Thank you. What was I going to say now? It's gone. That's interesting, though. Yeah, that ranking, though, I did get Lunatic overall, and I was sending you screenshots and stuff of my my score. Because I guess I'll mention briefly here, I had them in front of me. So to get Lunatic, I had in episode 2, it doesn't have an episode 1. It just has like the beginning or whatever it says. So I'm not skipping episode 1 with what I'm stating here. Episode 2, it's 2 through 6. So I got 91%, 91.2, 97%, 76.7, and then 84%. But overall, I still got Lunatic.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know. I guess I could do the math to figure out the average of those, and that's probably how they do it or something.
Yeah, I guess
now I'm curious. I'm going to do some of that math. But so you didn't send me any of you didn't brag about any of your scores or anything. So you want to get into that for yourself?
I mean, we could do, I guess. Did I? Actually, I think I did take a couple of screenshots or photos from my phone, so I was going to send them to you, but I just didn't bother in the end. Okay, I took one photo of it. Sorry, I thought I'd taken more. I got Lunatic in the end. I think for this playthrough, I got Lunatic.
Oh, for your overall final result.
Yeah, for the overall final one. I didn't take it. I didn't bother with the other thing. I didn't even pay attention, I don't think. I also got Sniper on one of them, but I definitely got Berserk or the Predator. I got Predator on one of them as well. So, yeah. And
I feel like we need to have this next to us for the rest of the episode as we talk about these things, this list.
One thing I want to touch on with this particular boss as well, for the graphics, they actually have transparency effects on this, which the Saturn wasn't meant to be able to do.
That was a big deal. PS1 could not do that.
It was a big deal.
PS1 could not do that, people.
Could it not? I thought PS1 could.
Not like this. Not like this.
No.
Am I wrong? Am I lying? Keep me honest.
I don't know.
I'll look it up. You keep talking. I'll look it up.
So for the audience watching or listening, on this boss, there is you're running basically along a really long platform in a big open area, and there's water all around you, and there's a fish boss. Fish boss swimming around in the water, and it's actually using transparency effects in the water, and the water looks really good, like for its time. It's like kind of shimmery, reflective, and the fish boss points. Parts of its head sticks out of the water and parts of it's below the water, but the bits that are underwater, you can tell it's underwater, but it's still see-through. And it's not using the, I guess, mesh. I don't know what it's called. There's like that mesh effect that often the Saturn uses for transparency, which is what it uses on the radar, actually. It's like they uses like colored dots, but
it's like a
blank
grid,
empty dots.
Almost,
yeah, something. Like a grid effect almost, yeah. And that's what they normally use for transparency on the Saturn. But here in this boss, they use really good transparency effects. And I know they've done it on Panzer Dragoon Saga as well in some areas for some of the water. And they did it on Sonic R for the, was it Radiant is it Raging Emerald or something? The
Oh
final,
yeah,
the
you see
unlockable
through
track.
the level itself.
Yeah, so that has got transparency effects, but those are the only few games I know the Saturn does have real transparency effects on. So yeah, this for its time, this was like mind blowing.
I think Resident
I
Evil does too.
On Saturn, does it? Okay,
Yeah, because you do
I
run
don't
through
remember
water.
Okay, but yeah, so I just remember when it's also got reflections as well in the water. You see the fish, as the fish is diving down, you see its reflection as well in the water.
Yeah.
And this is the boss that I distinctly remember as a kid being like, "Wow, this is insane! This is like so much fun." And this is actually a boss I had most trouble on my replaying of this. I died multiple times. Yeah. Maybe it's because I took the hardest route. Maybe it's true that like these freaking purple things that pop up and shoot you. Did you get those?
There are parts in the game where so overall your main weapon, I mean, I use the homing laser more than your gun all day, mostly. So you hold down a button to home in, or to lock on, I should say, and then fire your homing missile laser. God, I can't talk. Or you can just fire your machine gun type thing. These things go so fast that sometimes you can't lock onto them in time, and it is almost better to just use your machine gun type thing, your handgun. I don't know what to call it. What are the different things called?
I think it's just called a gun. They call it a gun.
Gun or laser, I get gun, and or the other thing being lock on laser probably. So yeah, that's the final boss has a situation with like that as well, where it's harder to lock on to everything, and sometimes it's best to try your artist to lock on, and whatever else, just start firing your gun.
Yeah.
So that is tricky. I didn't have a whole lot of trouble with this boss, so that's interesting that you did. But again, like you said, it has Graham learned and told me that it does have adaptive gameplay. So
yeah, that's another thing. A lot of sources say it has like adaptive difficulty in the gameplay depending on how well you're playing. But again, I couldn't find any solid information about that. But multiple sources say, yeah, Panzer Dragoon Zwei has this. I'm like, cool, it makes sense. But at the same time, what? Like no one's given any information on it, like substantial information.
Real quick before we get away from transparency, I was totally wrong. The PlayStation did it better, and your definition or with the word mesh was correct. So whoops.
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. Whatever. Fantastic. Yeah, I thought that was the case.
People don't come to this podcast for the facts; they just opinions.
Yes.
As we talk about this, and as I was playing it and thinking about Saturn exclusives and Sega exclusives, I think that Panzer Dragoon, the series, has one of my favorite worlds and theming overall, to be honest, because all of it looks like it could be a matte painting or something. And the art is cool. I love the concept art and just all the artwork that you see like for these games. That's what did it, was when I beat this and it's showing artwork through the credits, that I was just like, man, I just love the world that this thing is in, and I love the artwork of these games. And it's very much like the background for any of these levels could be a desktop wallpaper or something. So I really like it, and I think that the fan base was robbed of not having models that you could build of like the airships or the ancient areas or the dragons itself. We've got how many freaking Gundam models out there and your stupid gunpla crap. Yeah, I call it stupid. Come at me. Leave us any comments, please. But no, just like it's just another thing of like, man, we really were in the minority of fan bases because there's no merchandise for this series, unless there's probably some over in Japan, but there's just, I would love to have like some sort of model of a dragon, or even that dumb giant white sausage flying airship in front of us in your gameplay right now, like anything. So yeah, I really like the landscapes and stuff. I am a sucker for post-apocalyptic stuff generally, but this does it different, where they are deserts, but when you play Saga, you see like with the map and just the vast cutscenes and stuff, it really opens up to how vacant the world is, and you're like, what happened? Everything's just sand and death. So
yeah,
there you go. I figured out I really liked it.
Excellent. Yeah, one thing I love about the game is its use of colors, in that
Hmm.
in the post-apocalyptic world, lots of things are muted, like especially in the first few levels, it's like grays and browns and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
But there's pops of color. Like if you actually look at your dragon, like the different colors on your dragon just really pop on the screen and stuff, and then your lasers and
Hmm.
everything like that. And like this level here, so we're looking at like episode 5, which is kind of like a marshy, swampy area with lots of
Yep.
greens and stuff. But the enemies, when they pop out, some of the enemies, and like they can be a bit more colorful, but you also got these like little pink, I guess, things floating around and stuff. And yeah, I love it. I love the contrast of the colors that they use, the different color palettes they use throughout the entire game. Um, and yeah, you're right though. It does look like a sort of matte painting, as you described it, which is really cool. And funny that you just talk about like models and stuff. I've been wanting to get. I don't collect models at all, but I have a friend from my old job who has a 3D printer, and
Oh
he 3D prints stuff, and he
yeah.
basically started 3D printing his own models and things like that, just using designs that he found on the internet. And I was like, "Is there any way you could get me something for Panzer Dragoon or Panzer Dragoon Saga or something?"
Yeah.
He didn't really know the game, so I showed him stuff. He's like, "Oh, that looks cool." And then he went online. This was a few years ago now, so it might have changed. But when he went
Okay.
online a few years ago, there was nothing out there. There's like, because people have to use computer aided design to actually make the designs that the 3D printers use or something.
Yeah.
He could not find anything out there, and he didn't have the expertise to be able to make them himself directly, if that makes
I,
sense.
yeah,
Um,
because that's what I mean. People do that on Etsy all the time. Is they'll sell you the file of something that they've
yeah,
made, and so because everybody got into 3D printing during lockdown, um, and then you can make whatever if you have a 3D printer. Cannot talk.
yeah. But yeah, he couldn't find anything at the time, so I was really gutted. But he was like, "If I do find something, I'll definitely make you one." But I'm not at that job anymore, and I haven't really spoken to the guy for a long time. So, James, if you're out there, do you remember me? Please make me a Panzer model. Oh man,
Unfortunately, on Etsy, typing in Panzer Dragoon gets me tanks galore,
oh
military
yeah,
tanks
that's the
and
other thing.
junk, but
Yeah,
also people just trying to sell Saga and other in the games and stuff.
mm.
Yeah. So I don't know. Somebody needs to do it. Somebody needs to start making models of the stuff in this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, One other thing I want to touch on as well was the music. And now I know you're a music kind of guy, Scotty. You played in bands, you do things. Um, um, I loved the music in this game, but not just the general overall music. I love the way they incorporated the music. So the main composer, which I mentioned earlier, is Yayo. Oh god, I cannot. I've just lost the ability to say his name. Yayoi. Scotty, how do you say his name?
Let me look it up in one of my 15 manuals in front of me,
Said
and
it
I can tell
earlier.
you.
I can't remember.
It's not
Wachi-san. Let's call him that.
these credits suck. It doesn't even have that in here.
Oh
Literally
wow.
has
Okay.
producer, product manager, lead tester, product specialist, assistant lead testers, which is like 30 names, special thanks, and manual, John McClane. It does not even mention the sound design in here. So
So I think his
I
name
can
is
find it. Or,
Yayoi Wachi. Yayoi Wachi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And I apologize. I butchered that so many times. Uh, the I love the soundscape they created in this game, but like when certain things happen in levels, it like dynamically changes and stuff. Did you
Mhm.
notice that at all? Like
I mean, I noticed that there were changes. I didn't know it was dynamic though.
it seems to shift based on the enemy waves and the boss phases as well. So like when the boss transitions, it dynamically changes um, at that point, which it's not unusual in video games, but it just the way they did it in this, I really dug it. Like I was really like, this is drawing me more into the game more than other games have. I thought he did a really good job of it, basically. So in terms of like actual like gameplay and stuff, how did you feel it held up? You sort of mentioned that you did enjoy it and stuff,
Hmm.
comparing to like I guess more modern on rail shooters or other rail shooters. Like, how did you find it? It sounds like you had difficulty with the Saturn controllers though, which is
Um,
interesting.
the 3D controller didn't feel great, and I did not try it again after. you told me how to fix it randomly using it confused the programming of the X button
Yeah.
and L or R, one of the triggers. I forget.
Maybe we should explain that as well, actually, because we brought it up mentioned earlier. So
Yep.
basically, with the 3D control pads, when you press the R trigger, the L and R trigger, they're meant to rotate the dragon. So like your viewpoint of the dragon, because you can actually do
All
360
together
view,
now.
like
Yep.
shooting all directions around your dragon, basically. So L and R change that direction to like a 90-degree angle, like it flips it around so you can go around. But for some reason, when you're using the 3D control pad, when you press the R trigger, it will rotate you, but also when you've got enough energy, it will set off your Berserk attack. And I thought I had a glitch game years ago when I first got this, so it was really weird. But it turns out it's actually just a glitch for all all versions of Panzer Dragoons of Zwei, and if you've got a 3D controller. However, I thank you, Sega. Yeah, Sega, I think it was Sega Retro, who
Yeah,
I
you
found this
said retro.
information.
Yep.
Yep. Basically, there is a way to stop that happening. It's basically you go to the settings of the game, and you can go to the controller settings, and you can adjust the buttons, like what the button functions are. If you go to the X button and set it to nothing, like not in use or not or nothing, I
Just
can't
turn
remember
it
what it is. I
off. You
can't
turn
remember
it
the word is.
off.
Yeah, basically turn it off, makes it so the X button doesn't do anything. It fixes it. So at that point, you can then actually use the 3D controller, like the normal controller, and press L and R to your heart's content and just rotate around in full 360 degrees with no berserk going off randomly. But yeah, I played using the 3D control pad, and I was my preferred method. Although I didn't play it on my Polymega, so maybe I should give that a try. But I found the D-pad actually awkward to use. So
Hmm.
yeah, although I must admit, yeah, the 3D control pad wasn't as smooth as some other 3D control pad games
Yeah.
out there that I've used on Saturn. So yeah, it wasn't quite as accurate. And also, I did have, especially on the last boss, I had issues with the lock-on actually locking on properly, because I think I told you I didn't. When I was trying to do the final
Hmm.
boss, I had issues, and yeah, basically it wasn't doing the lock on correctly. So you meant to be able to lock on like multiple times
Yep.
until your cursor goes red. Mine was only doing it once or twice at first, and
Hmm.
it worked out as basically trying to do it wrong or something. So it took me, the last boss took me quite a few goes as well, actually, which is
Do you?
interesting.
That is interesting. Did you invert the directions or did you use normal?
Yes, I have up as down and down as up.
Okay. I did that
And
at
flight
first.
controls.
I switched it. Yeah, I switched it to flight controls because I thought that would make more sense or that would
Hmm.
feel more natural. Um, but as weird as this might sound, since sometimes your dragon is running as opposed to flying, as soon as it switched back to, or sorry, let me start this thought over. I had it set to inverted, which didn't make it was hard to do when you were running on the ground because to me, I
Okay.
wanted to hit up to aim up and down to hit down, aim down when you're running on the ground. When you switch to fly mode, it was easier for me to use inverted controls. So that is horrible for any gameplay experience because you cannot switch the controls on the fly. This is the
Mm.
era. Well, I shouldn't say this is the era because I'm sure there were some games in the fifth gen of consoles that you could pause the game and like change the controls. This you can only change the controls back at the title screen.
Yeah.
So I went back to normal overall, and I think that was also why I was not enjoying the game at first because I tried the 3D controller and I tried it normal and inverted. Then I switched to the regular gamepad, tried normal and inverted. Then I tried the flight stick and I tried normal and inverted. Um, so I was not picking something. So finally, I told you like I was just not having a good time, and then like the next week, I sent you a screenshot of beating the game, and it was from sitting on my couch playing from the Polymega instead of sitting here in my
Yeah.
computer desk chair on the satiator, plugged into a monitor trying to capture data. So I think the environment of I'll be honest, like sitting here at my desk, I'm just not comfortable playing games. This chair's not meant to be super relaxing because I have to be here to do my job as well. So sitting on the couch, Polymega controller, normal directions. I did, since I mentioned how the Polymega what is wrong with us today? I mentioned how the Poly Mega controller controls mapped out. So I did try changing R1 to firing at one point to see if I could like alternate a little bit, like use my thumb and my trigger finger for lock on laser, or I'm sorry, for the just firing is the same thing. It's the same button. You either hold down the button to lock on or tap that button to fire your gun. I did try mapping that out. It helped for some areas, but it didn't make sense overall. But I guess just I had normal. Gosh, I'm rambling. Sorry. Normal directions. Polymega controller for the win.
Nice. Okay, but I need to give that a try. I need to give that.
Maybe I mean, I don't want to say like you'll definitely love it, but since you can try it, I would say give it a shot. Maybe sometime.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Yeah. But you said something that triggered in my brain, and now I can't remember what it was. Well, actually, no. To do with the up and down, I just use. I like even first person shooters. I use like flight controls as well. Like, do you not use flight controls?
I don't think so. Okay. Not on computer. Not with mouse and keyboard. No, I don't think I do inverted at all. Now that I think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in my head, because you're saying it's difficult on the ground, but in my head, I don't think of it as moving the cursor up. I think of it as angling your head down or up. So like if I want to look down, I lean forward, so push forward. If I want to
that makes sense.
Look up, So that's how it's always just worked that way for me. Like ever since Turok Dinosaur Hunter on the N64, which forced you to have inverted controls.
I was going to bring that up.
Controls.
Not that game, but there are before first person view and first person controls had any type of like staple standard, not staple. Holy crap. This is what happens when we record on a Saturday instead of a Sunday, I guess. Oh my gosh. Which the listeners and audience does not affect them at all, but we're recording on a different day than usual. Yeah, it was a time before games figured out, and I think things were inverted by default. And I think part of that was due to flight sim games, but I could be wrong. It's funny you mentioned that. I was going to mention this because we almost recorded last time on Alien Day, which is April 26th. LB 426 is the planet in Alien. There you go, everybody. Look it up. But apparently the Alien Resurrection video game on PlayStation 1 was the first game was like the one that initiated the standard for first-person shooter controls. So I was going to bring that up as a rec later on, honestly. It's not directly related to Saturn or Sega, but I found it so interesting that,
slightly relating it to Sega, apparently Resurrection was being developed for the Saturn, and it was pulled last minute.
Yeah, they did mention that in the video. But that in mind, there are whole podcast episodes and YouTube videos out there saying that people that use inverted controls are lunatics, or that people that use the normal controls are lunatics. It's a matter of preference, and it doesn't matter.
Scotty,
it'd be like,
you are a lunatic. Panzer Dragoon Zwei confirmed that you're a lunatic.
Confirmed. Loggy agrees. I'm a loggy lunatic. I'm a loggy loony, they say on the streets. And that's the name of my fan club, the Loggy Loonies. No, it's the same as like we could sit here and argue that I could say you're crazy for playing in the first person mode of racing games, and you could tell me I'm crazy because I play third. Yeah, I guess third. Yeah, third. We say, think about this, listeners. We say third person, but you're the car. So is it third car view?
Ooh.
Sound off in the comments. Tell me next time. What were we talking about?
Sega dragons. What was going?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, I can't even remember how we got there, but
controls.
What about the controls? You enjoying the gameplay.
It's good.
And I personally just enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game. I think it played a lot better than the first game. I will say that. Yeah, I just remember that. The first game was fine. I feel like the first game had to walk so this game could run. It's like they improved everything over the first game on this. Like the level design, the controls, the graphics. and yeah,
just the fluidity. It is cool to have
yeah,
the full unlocked mode. What is it called? Normal, instrumental, or something.
oh yeah, so yeah, that's one thing to touch. Like, if some people watching this might not experience this before, but if you watch my video, I have the full instrument mode unlocked, which is one of the settings you can do. So normally you just have like the little radar in the corner, and yeah, that's kind of the main instrument you have. But when you when you turn on the full instruments, the radar's better. Like, it actually indicates when people are going to shoot at you and stuff. So like you get like flashes of yellow or red, and then it shows the score as you're hitting things as well. So like numbers will appear when you start shooting things, which might be just a bit distracting, but I really liked it. I actually found it a lot better and easier to play the game with all that set up.
I
And
agree.
yeah, I love that they did all that.
Is that only unlocked though, or is that in by default?
I think it's in by default, because I'm pretty sure it was there when I first turned the game on.
I wish I had set that
when I
up
did-
initially then, because I only used it after beating the game once. I didn't pay attention
Oh,
to it.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm pretty sure. That I didn't have to unlock anything. I think it was just there, and I didn't touch it initially, but I did later, and I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because it does add
Yeah.
the score or your points, and your radar lights up if there's an enemy coming from a certain side.
yeah,
And then it also has a timer when the bosses show up, like a boss timer, which I didn't even
Yeah.
realize. So I don't know what happens when that reaches 0, but I thought that was interesting. So
I've got a weird feeling maybe you get more points, or do you get more?
oh,
points?
is it
Maybe you get
really
more
just
points?
like if you beat it before this, but if it hits 0, you just keep going, but maybe don't
Yeah,
score as
'cause
high?
a couple of times it definitely hit 0 for me, but I didn't die or
okay.
anything. So
Interesting.
yeah, I think it must do something to your score or something.
Yeah. Okay.
And one of the bosses, though, actually, I don't know if it was a coincidence. One of the bosses that hit 0, and the boss transformed into a different, or started doing a different attack at that point. I don't know if that was just a coincidence.
Maybe.
Like a weird, yeah.
We're watching the end of the game now, I think.
This is the end sequence.
And when this is happening, you can tell that this was made in collision. No, God, Scott, what are you doing? Where have you been? This game was made the same time Saga was, and you can tell by these cutscenes.
Yes, yeah, that's actually something I was actually going to bring up. Yeah, if
correlation. Good God, that's the word.
Panzer Dragoon Zwei and Panzer Dragoon Saga were being developed at the same time, even though Zwei was released 2 years before. So Zwei was released in 1996. Saga was released in 1998, but the development started at the same time. So there was actually one team focusing on Zwei, the other teams focusing on Saga, but they were both had the creative leadership of Yukio Futasugi.
Christ, you need to just send me these names.
Yeah, Yukio Futasugi. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Is it in the outline? I'll start reading them.
He had the creative, so the creative leadership was he was directing Saga, but he had the overarching creative leadership for both games. And apparently, according to sources, they had the same world building Bible and lore structure to go off. So yeah, they're very closely connected, essentially. How would you say that name, Scotty?
Okay, Yukio. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yukio Futatsugi.
Futatsugi. Okay, yeah, I think
I've
got the Canadians of the word.
I think you're just mixing up where to which part to emphasize.
Yeah,
like which syllable.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to. I have a hard enough time with English names. Who am I kidding? So there needs to be a documentary on this series, if not just Saga, something. Like, they're very good games, and I would use any one of these 3 games to show off the power of the Saturn.
I'd say less so for the first game myself, but aesthetically, it's still really cool, the first game. But I feel like Zwei is where it really, kicks off, and it's such a good visual representation. Like the color, as I mentioned, the color use, and also just the general graphics overall and stuff. And Saga, beautiful game. So yeah, and to an extent, I'd agree with you. Yeah.
I think looking at this is the North American launch list of Saturn games: Clockwork Knight, Daytona USA, Panzer Dragoon, Pebble Beach Golf Links, Virtua Fighter 1, Worldwide Soccer, Sega International Victory Goal, and ellipses. Out of those, I would definitely use Panzer Dragoon
Yeah,
to,
it's actually out of those, I probably would have done as well. Yeah.
yeah, maybe Virtual Fighter just to show like, whoa, polygonal fighting game. But
Hmm.
I can't find that popped up by default because I am in America, so I'm trying to find the other launch games for the other. It's not that big a deal. We can keep talking.
Cool. And there was something I wanted to bring, like, just check with you in regards to the box art, because I've actually got a little
Oh,
factoid about the box art, which I'd like to see your box if you can hold it up, please, sir.
keep
Let's
elbowing tails.
bring them both up together. Actually, let's make us both pretty bigger, so
I'm just
we
gonna
can
hold up the
see a
manuals because
picture.
they're all sitting outside of it anyway now.
Are they? Is the manual got the same artwork as the box?
What does that mean?
Like, is the same artwork on the manual as on the cover of the box?
Oh, Sir Graham, I know you've been knighted, but you should remember, as a Sega fan, that the North American boxes are these giant jewel cases that break apart if you sneeze on them. So the manual is the box.
Okay, so I did not know that because I don't own any American Saturn. Oh no, I do. I
You
own
knew that.
Magic Knight Raya. There we
You
go.
knew that.
I know. Okay, I own one American Saturn game which I forgot about. But okay, so
Which one did you
this
say?
is Magic Knight Raya.
Of course. Jesus Christ. Are you paying for your son's college with that game?
I know it's
No
expensive.
joke. I
I
was
managed
talking
to.
about that game with someone today.
Oh, really? How much does it cost these days? Because I
I'm
managed to
telling
get
you.
it. It was expensive, but a lot cheaper than other places. So it's like I'm getting that game.
The
I bought it years ago.
PAL, wait. Oh, it didn't get a PAL release. It only has
Yeah,
Japan and
1 second. I'm going to
North
go grab my
America.
box.
Good golly, Miss Molly. You know, money isn't everything, everyone, but collectors try to keep tabs on things. And so we're going to tell you right now that
Mhm.
so you have the American version. Can you hold that up? Because who's the developer? What's it? I can't see their name.
It's
Oh, Working Designs.
working designs. Yeah.
Yeah, all of their covers are ridiculous, like paintings basically. And is the disc in there? It's got to be full
Should
color art,
be.
right?
Hold on a second.
Normally, now I'm scaring him. He's opening it up. Now
oh,
the
oh god! Like I've been grabbing in the box. Where
got to
is
keep it
it?
safe.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
This just
Clip
fell
it.
out. Uh,
The
yeah, that's crazy.
all of their games have full color art on the discs always for working design games, but what just happened there, listeners, was Graham opened the box. There's a bunch of bubble wrap in there, and the disc was in a sandwich Ziploc bag, and worried that the game was not in there. He opened it carefully, finds it, and then the game falls right out. So that was good. So in Japan, the it goes for complete in box $37.92. Take a stab
Ooh.
at what the North American
Oh
goes for.
god. Is it like $300 or something?
Too rich for your blood, if that's what you're tapping out at. Is that what you're saying?
$800? I don't know what. Where are we
Nine
going with
hundred
this?
and $19.69.
The hell! Oh my
Yep.
god. Okay, so
Stupid.
I got this from a UK store that's like a retro gaming store, and I paid, I think it was £120 for it.
It's
This was a few
never
years
been that
ago.
cheap. It's like,
Um, that was the thing. Like I looked online, I saw it being for sale, and I looked online, I saw elsewhere it was like £200 or £300. I was like, okay, I am going to get that game because I was in my collecting phase at the time. This was quite a few years ago now, and yeah, I'm glad I did now because if it's worth that much, I'm gonna have to try and keep hold of that.
yeah, the timeline of it, like you can check on price charting. It only goes back to 2021, but as far back in May of 2021, it was still reaching 894 complete, and it's only dropped as far as like 732, 707. That's the cheapest it's been, $700. That's stupid.
Wow.
But that's very much Magic Knight rate. I did Magic. No, that's right. First, let's talk about Panzer Dragoon Zwei 2 box art again. All right, everybody, hold up
Nice.
their copies. Here we go. So that's yours. This is mine, and then
Oh
crap, and then this is also mine. But let me back up, and then I could actually show you both as I smack my microphone. Oh, how do cameras work?
Yeah, they're very different box arts, aren't they?
Yes.
I can't even, the Japanese one, I can't really even make out.
The Japanese one
is going on in that
one. Maybe my favorite. I don't know. It's like a what's it called?
What
It's
is
like
going on
a
there?
it looks like a bug. Ew, yuck. It looks like a moth thing, but I also thought maybe it was like hieroglyphics or some sort of wall painting of the dragon. I don't know. It's very artsy. And then the back of it is a weird, like, just I don't doesn't make any sense. So I don't know if you want to describe it for audio
the
people.
back of it, I believe, is actually a bit of CGI from the end of the game, where he kind of gets lifted off the dragon, basically.
Oh,
he's just
yeah.
like floating next to it. But it looks like it's flipped, like it's reversed, almost like a mirror image. But out of context, that makes no sense.
Correct.
Because you're like a guy floating in midair next to a dragon, basically.
Yeah, so describe for the listeners what the Japanese one is.
I can't even describe it. I don't know. My brain can't even function what I'm looking at. Like, what is that thing in the middle? Like you say, it looks a bit like a weird moth creature type thing. Like,
yes, so it is rounded. The overall, it's a lot of brown and beige and tannish colors. But the logo's in the top, and then it almost looks like they're trying to make it seem like the shape of the circle was coming out of the logo, or it blends somehow. I'm crazy, maybe. But in the middle, it looks like the side profile of a moth or some sort of bug. It even looks like, almost for a second, that there is a face on the thing.
Yes, I thought there was a face for a second. Is that not a face?
I don't know, but there's a wire or something coming from the head that like goes down into the ground area.
Hold it still for a second. I think I'm getting it now.
As still as I can, yeah. So I feel like if anybody remembers the Magic Eye books, that's what this feels like.
Okay, I actually do see the dragon there now. That's really trippy though. Like, see, I can see the wings now. The bit that I thought was a face, there's almost like a nose thing sticking out, but that's not the nose. That's kind of like the side of the dragon's head. So it is actually dragon's head area. The very top is actually its nose. I see this now. I can see it. But yeah, that's really
I see too.
artsy style. Wow.
It's like that picture. Is it a duck or a rabbit? Nonsense going on.
The duck or rabbit picture. Wow.
So it is just the thing is that the dragon outline, or the dragon itself, the portrait is all white, the color white. So I thought it was like a skeleton of something at first. So it is very much the dragon flying, and then I guess I'll just, since I'm still talking, I'll show the American and the North American box art, which you have the green, you have the dragon is green. Wow, that is not what the character looks like.
There's actually this is the part of the factoid I have for the box art.
Whoa, I never noticed the explosion in the back.
So there's a cool explosion.
Yeah, let me describe the colors real quick. Like green dragon, kind of like oil spill colored wings, but if they were green and blue, and it has the logo up top, but a very fiery colored sunset and water below it, and like an explosion in the background of a dock or a harbor or something. So what do you have to say about that, Graham?
So yeah, for some reason, the North American box art does not feature the actual dragon from the game in it. For some unknown reason, they put an unrelated render of a green dragon on the front of their box.
Nice.
And the main character, Lundy, it looks like she looks there like he's got blonde hair. Is that correct?
I can't.
Oh no, that's him shooting his gun. Okay, sorry, no, that's him shooting his gun.
Yeah, he's facing away from the camera, but the dragon looks like a crocodile more than a dragon.
Yeah, it's not like a normal. It doesn't look like the dragon from Panzer Dragoon at all on it. So yeah, that's something that's been picked up by quite a few sites. So
that is a high render, though.
Yeah, they use a high render CGI type thing, but it's not from the game at all. It's not from the designs of the game. it's not from the original artwork at all. It's really weird.
Before we move to yours, I want to point out that I didn't notice this until discussing this game on this episode, that it does have a emblem that says Sega Saturn exclusive. Like, it has official Sega seal of quality. It has that, but then above it says Sega Saturn. Below it says exclusive. I don't remember seeing that on games before, so I have to check my other manuals or something.
Yeah.
And reminder that my phone camera is freaking nuts that we can see that well. But let's go over to yours now, though.
But yeah,
you've got your bumper case, your plastic.
The PAL version, it actually uses sort of CGI footage from the game for to make up the box art. So apparently that lower bit, according to different sources online, is actually scenes taken from, I think, the intro for the game as they show the village. But what they've done is they've distorted the image to make it give it depth and stuff. So it's actually like two different screenshots they've taken and then merged them together and twisted the angle a bit to give it depth. So, and the main dragon is meant to be from the game as well. I don't know what that dragon is. Because that's just like another dragon in the game.
There's no other dragon in the game. Maybe it's called
Panzer Dragoon II. They've got two dragons, maybe. There's also a comment on how the number 2 that's being used there is more just to emphasize that this is the second game in the series, because it says Panzer Dragoon II Zwei.
Yeah, we're
idiots. If you take that literally means Panzer Dragoon II, because Zwei is German for 2. The other thing
looks a little cooler, the logo on the North American, just because the 2's behind everything. But I wanted to, can you hold yours up real quick one more time? Because the logo on the North American, totally different from the one on Japan. But then the inside jewel case of Japan's case has the exact logo that you have on yours. So
actually, hold up the American one again, actually.
Too much stuff is happening.
That's the other thing. The American logo is not the official Panzer Dragoon logo either. If you see the way the writing style and the way the O's link together, it doesn't do that on the American one. They use different fonts and different colors.
Someone definitely did not send the artist a memo, and they were just like, "We need the cover art now, please."
Yeah, it's got dragons. You're flying. Things blow up. Yeah, sure.
One more reason we need a documentary about this series.
Yes. Also, apparently, it's annoying that your game doesn't work. Your American game doesn't work. Apparently, the NTSC disc has the region code for Japan on it, so it can also be played on a Japanese Saturn as standard.
What?
That's a little fact I found online.
I mean, I don't have a Japanese Saturn, so.
Okay, well, find a Japanese Saturn and test, get a working copy and then test it.
Yeah, tell me about it. You want to read the back of just the top tagline of the American box of the North American. I'm calling it American box with this tagline.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you take a dragon to flight school. He takes you to battle school. Yeah.
What?
Mine doesn't have any of that.
It does say on one of these screenshot captions, "Go back in time to find out how your fire-breathing friend sprouted his wings." So I didn't know that. Okay. I mean, we know it's a prequel now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. All right.
Yeah,
time to wrap this baby up.
I actually did want to show one thing though, because just very quickly, if that's okay. I know we've been going on for a little while. Basically, we mentioned how.
Look, I'm putting things away. Look at the Japanese disc. What the literal disc says this on it for the Japanese game. Read that.
Panzer Dragoon Zwei is one of the best 3D shooting games available, presented for your pleasure.
What? It's not even a quote. It's just stating, "Hey, this game's freaking awesome. Enjoy." Like, what the crap?
Oh my god!
Yeah, there you go. That'll be in the thumbnail somehow.
So good. I love it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that like really threw me off. A, it's in English, and B, it's way more obnoxious than I'm used to for any Japanese product. Hit it.
Man.
Last episode. This is you. This is your gameplay.
Yeah, so I had a weird moment. So basically, as I was playing the game, why is this not playing? Yes, it is playing. Okay, good. I kept dying on the final boss because as I mentioned earlier, I had difficulty actually locking onto him. Like, so basically, trying to kill him was taking me freaking ages, and I was trying to just shoot him using the gun, which doesn't lock on, which was working, but it takes off such little damage that it was taking freaking ages for me to kill him. And I kept dying. And then I actually sort of looked, I basically went onto a YouTube video, I must be doing something wrong. And it showed me that if you hold the reticle in such a way, you will get multiple lock-ons on the boss. And I'm like, I must be doing this incorrectly. And I thought, right. So basically, actually, just to explain, the last boss transforms. So basically, you have the first bit, which he's like a bigger boss with like these lots of wing type things, like almost like a jellyfish type thing.
I was going to see a peacock or a turkey.
Okay, that's even better. Peacock, turkey type thing. It's like these flat feather type things stick out the back and attack you sometimes.
Like almost a duster that you use around a house. That
that's even better.
Made up a bunch of feathers.
Floating evil duster, the evil feather duster. So it's in that form, and it fires lots of projectiles at you and stuff. And then once you kill it once, it then transforms into a much smaller version, and it flies around really, really fast. It's really crazy. It's like a really dynamic fight scene. It's that second part of the scene which I struggled to actually do the lock on for it. And I basically went online, saw this video, and was like, oh, clearly I was doing it wrong. So I then went back to my game, hit continue, because luckily this game saves your progress like at the start of the level you got to, basically. And this is the experience I had. So basically, I'm fighting the boss like normal. And actually, I'll skip forward a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So the boss is like on this first stage. It's basically, it's about to die. I'm about to kill it now.
Oh, yeah, you've got like magic pixel left here.
There you go.
And he's
there
dead.
We go. I've killed the boss. And this point, it's like the game lulls you into a full sense of security. And you kill that, and it goes underwater, and then you think, "Oh, I've done it."
Right.
And I had done it.
Yeah, your health bar and attack meter, berserk meter has disappeared. Floated away out of the screen.
The game ended. Like, I've now got the final credits. I've now got the final cutscene. So I beat the game without beating the game. Like, I don't know if it was a glitch or something.
Wait, isn't that what happens after you beat him anyway?
No, it didn't do the second part of the game. It didn't do the second part of the boss. Did you know? That's literally the point I'm trying to make. So I killed.
I don't know.
This is the first bit of the boss.
Yeah, I don't remember a second part of the boss. What happens? What's the second part?
Okay, right. Hold on, Scott.
Well, we might. It might have happened. I'm not sure what you're defining as the second part. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, so this is the. It evolves the boss, the final boss. You kill it, and then it turns into another boss, basically.
Nope, not for me.
Okay. Oh my god, what really? So, okay, where's my full playthrough?
I want to say. He's not going to hear me while I say it. I could talk about anything. I could talk about how flying gnomes launch out of my nose every day.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm switching it to the other gameplay footage. This is my full playthrough where the boss transforms. So fighting the boss. This is the boss. That's the first stage of the boss.
Oh,
the big boss.
Back it up a little bit though, like right before.
You see that?
He looks different than he did for me. The boss actually.
Okay, so
it might have just been that attack.
That's the big boss, yeah. Like in the big boss form.
Mm-hmm.
I've killed it. Yay.
You're doing what I did too. You're like looking around thinking, all right, where is it?
It's not. And then it comes back in this form.
Never saw this.
You never saw that? This is, what? Okay. This is the...
Holy crap.
This is crazy. It flies around really fast. It's really hard to lock on. This is the problem I was having.
Instead of the dustbuster, or instead of the flying duster with lasers and crap, it turned into like almost a stealth fighter or something. It was white and tinier, and now it is just zipping and zooming. I don't know how. This is insane.
Yeah, it's really fun boss battle.
This is the fastest anything has moved in the game. Sorry.
Yeah, and that stream of green behind it hurts you. So if you get caught in it, it hurts. It's really annoying.
Okay.
But I was having difficulty doing the lock-on. Like, it kept on doing like one or two, but eventually I worked out you can do multiple lock-ons to actually give it some damage. But this is where I was having lots of problems, basically, this last boss. But so what? Okay, so when I was trying to explain this to you before the show, you clearly didn't know what I was talking about.
I mean, I understood that there was a possibility of a glitch, and it just like kind of let you. It made sense to me because you said spoke about the adaptive difficulty in the game, so I just figured like okay.
Yeah, but I didn't know about adaptive difficulty when I first played that. So maybe it's not a boss glitch. Maybe there are different, depending on how you play the game, you get a different boss ending.
Now I wish I did record my gameplay.
Ah, man, that's crazy.
That's how yeah.
It's really fun. It's a really fun boss battle. So, okay, what I thought was a glitch was not.
I kind of want to just see how do you beat him in this run right now?
Do I? Yeah, I do.
I mean, your health is pretty low, but it's also been at that the entire time. So I don't even know how.
Intense.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, though, it's not how you can rotate the camera. The boss is staying in front of you, but he's jetting up and down a lot. So you've got to rely on your radar otherwise, though.
This doesn't. Okay, so you don't need to rotate your camera for this one.
Really?
Automatic. So thankfully, they thought about that because the boss moves around so quickly, it'd be ridiculous. So yeah, thankfully you don't have to worry about the camera.
I'd love to hear the meeting where before they decided the camera follows him, and they're like, okay, guys, this is impossible. They can't be rotating the camera while they're fighting this boss. Let's just make it automatically follow. And I'll admit, if I look away from this, I'm probably going to get nauseous. I have to just follow this because the camera is zooming around.
Look at my health bar right now.
Yeah, I want to also mention. Oh, that is your health. Jeez, I thought that was your bruise. I got them mixed up. I want to also point out your dragon looks totally different than mine. It's different colors and like shape overall.
Yeah,
there it is.
There we go. I got him. Killed him.
Super final boss.
Killed it. Yeah.
Super final boss is dead. Now, right here, did you think like, crap? Where's phase 3? But the timer's he exploded, or it exploded.
Oh yeah, it's that was one of the best boss battles I think I've ever had in a game. Like, I'm not saying it was the best, but it was so much fun. It was really good.
I'll have to turn on the Polymega and like just get you a picture of my dragon or something. But I mean, that kind of just affected my opinion of this game though, because that shows. The Saturn did not get the notoriety it needed or that it deserved. Like with games like this. Like this is instead everybody's talking about doing barrel rolls and use the boost to get through. Your father helped me just like that, Fox. But Panzer Dragoon was doing all that stuff. Well, it didn't have all your buddies, but Panzer Dragoon was Sega's Star Fox, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we had different experiences. That's cool.
I was just wondering, so the dragon in the CGI footage at the end there is exactly the same as the dragon I had just now.
Similar, yeah.
So, because you said you had a different, because I know the dragon, that's the other thing, the dragon evolves throughout the game, but depending on how well you're playing, you actually end up with a different dragon at the end. So yeah, it depends on, because that depends on which routes you're taking and stuff. The better routes you can take, you technically get a better evolved dragon.
Right. Here's the back crap insane ending, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, the crazy flashes.
I do not know what was happening during this.
This is the other thing. Yeah.
I'll have to, and then it shows the blue dragon. I'll have to see. I might have done a save state after the final boss or during the final boss fight. I don't know. I'll try to show you whether or not the CG scene is different for me. I don't. Unless they have like, phase 1 only ending dragon CG, and then yours phase 2 CG dragon might actually be different dragons, but cool. That's really cool.
So I'm glad to know that it wasn't a glitch then, I guess.
This is the one case, ladies and gentlemen, where that is not a glitch. It is a feature.
That was actually a genuine feature. That's really good to know. I didn't. One other thing I was actually going to look at as well was some of the other option, like almost modes you get, but we don't have to go into that because this game has a lot of unlockables. That's something I just wanted to touch upon.
It's pretty cool.
There's something called I think in Panzer Dragoon Zwei, it's definitely called. No, sorry, in Panzer Dragoon Saga, it's definitely called Pandora's Box.
Mm-hmm.
In Panzer Dragoon Zwei, it's called Pandra's Box.
Oh,
Which
really?
yeah, it doesn't actually have the O on it.
Oh,
in
then
fact, actually,
GameFAQs has a typo.
Oh, okay.
Did you unlock it?
In fact, so if I share my screen again, actually, you can see.
Whoop.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah,
Pandra.
so there we go. I'm in Pandra's Box, which apparently
that's a typo. They just forgot the O.
Whoa! So apparently, this is what I read. This is what I read online.
Whoa! Back up the train. Hold on.
It's the first 3 letters from Panzer and first 3 letters from Dragoon. Pandra. But I believe in Panzer Dragoon Saga, it's definitely Pandora's Box. So I mean, you remember that when I unlocked it, being, oh, Pandora, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so in fact, when you unlock Pandora's Box, you can unlock. You can basically select start at whatever level you want to start at. You can set the dragon
rolling
evolution you want. Which one?
Rolling to the right of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I believe you can set it so you can somehow roll your dragon a bit like in Star Wars.
You can do that in Saga, and you can avoid.
I don't understand how you do it because I turned it on and it didn't seem to work. None of the controls seem to do anything, so I don't know. But I got sniper mode doing this because you can set your gun to homing, which means you don't even need to use your lock on it. You don't have to hold down the button for lock on. You just literally start just smashing the A button and all your shots hit a target, basically. You have to be aiming vaguely the right area, but yeah, it will basically start taking things down.
And assist then, but yeah.
So this is the one, actually, if I skip to the very end, because I did actually do a full playthrough of this one as well. I'll show you my actual, where is it? Has it got my ranking? I might have to go even further, damn it. Where's my rank? Okay, there we go. Ranking at the very end.
Sniper, baby.
So I got sniper. I only got 100% on one level, even with the homing thing. So I feel like it's very difficult to get 100% just normally, but I know it's possible.
So sniper's above lunatic though, right?
Yeah, it is, but it's still like 8 ranks below the top or something ridiculous.
Well, dude, that's 1 below Dragon Warrior, which is the last, like the highest named one on the list.
Oh, okay.
And 5 above lunatic. So Graham is the better. Let's see. Oh, I can't use my phone. Dang it. Do you have Google Translate on your phone? Scan this real quick.
I mean, I was basically cheating because I was using a homing laser, but man, it's
right. That's cool. Though sniper, that's insane. 94.7 was your grand total. What was mine? Let's see here. So, what do you think? Oh, mine was 88% even, and that got me lunatic.
Ooh.
So yeah.
You can also unlock a couple of special stages, and this one's called Zero Space, and it's like a weird mini demo type thing where you're basically. It's almost like a target practice type thing, and I've got my laser set to 5-way. It's like a 5-way gun. So it's kind of just firing multiple balls in multiple directions.
Yeah, like different colorful things.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, it's
like an arcadey thing. What did that say? The controls were there. Your dragon looks totally different too. It had
I set it to a different dragon. Yeah, but you can also, apparently there's a Space Harrier mode you can unlock as well, which I have not unlocked yet. So yeah, there's basically, even though this game's quite short, there's I think it's 7 levels technically in total, if you include the opening level. But yeah, and the final boss as well as a level. Basically, there's like 7 levels in total, but they've got multiple routes on some of the levels. They have lots of unlockables and like basically a cheat mode, which kind of makes the game more fun in some ways. So there's a lot of replayability in this game.
Yeah,
which I think is really awesome.
The go ahead. I'll wait till you're done.
No, I'm done. I'm done basically.
Oh, sorry. The other way. So you unlock Pandra's box by completing the game 100%. It says here. This is on GameFAQs, so also take with a grain of salt. But a couple of ways. Have a save game of Saga. and a save game of Zwei. So that's one way to get Panzer's box. The other way, complete the game 100% or clock 30 hours in the game. So you know what that means. Turn on the game, title screen, and walk away. Just let it sit for over a day.
Or do you actually have to actually physically play the levels, or is it literally just run the game?
I doubt it, just based on other experiences with Saturn
Okay.
games where like Fighters Mega Mix was one of those where I left my Saturn on to unlock some characters in there. I don't remember, but it was also, I think, 30 hours or something. But I wonder if that works on the Poly Mega, because it has an auto shut off. I think you might be able to change that, but yeah, that, back in the day where you unlock things just by playing stuff for so many hours, it's silly. And then GameFAQs has some other stuff here, like the Easter eggs listed. Apparently there are dev team messages. I don't know if you're going to mention those or anything.
No, I wasn't.
Dev team messages. It's just if you go into the game's files, you'll find several messages left by the dev team. So if you put it into a PC, you can find it says omaki.txt file, like OMAKE. So it might be,
yeah.
But it says it contains info about the gameplay mechanics. There's a README text that has many personal messages from the dev team thanking the player and reflecting on the game's production. And then world.txt gives a detailed description of the story and overall setting. So maybe that's where people got the story from that you were reading before.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So,
okay.
And then it does.
I miss things like this with games. Like just little hidden, stick your disc in something that's not the console, and you get all these cool little features.
Yep. I had wallpaper on my PC for a while from Sonic Jam, because that's what you got from it.
Yeah, because you got the wallpapers. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
very good.
There's lots of stuff, and there's other GameFAQs list some secrets here, game tricks and secrets and things. There's a self-destruction that you can do. You can just blow yourself up by hitting A, B, C, L, R at the same time while playing the game.
Wow, okay.
And then there's other button combo codes for stuff. So,
yeah. I know there's a way there's one of the bosses, I think if you hit Berserk as the boss is dying, the boss blows up instead of doing its normal death thing and stuff. There's like little hidden things like that in the game as well.
Oh.
Man.
All right.
Yeah. I think we can wrap up now, can't we? I think we've discussed the game far enough.
Yes, we have
videos.
If you stuck around this long, thanks. You get a virtual cookie.
Yeah.
Just accept it.
What we normally score these games out of 5 5 somethings. What were we scoring out this time, Scotty? You're the man who normally comes up with these things.
Yeah. Let's see. What did we? I mean, we can do it out of 5 loggies. How many loggies?
Sure. Okay.
Or was that the dragon's name? Yeah. I will. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Solid.
Only stays away from a 5 out of 5 because there's some things that I think could have been a little more clearer. But I don't know. I hesitate to give anything a perfect score ever, because a perfect game to me, or a perfect score to me, means that literally anyone can pick up a game and enjoy it. But
okay,
maybe but I am overly critical. I've been told that a lot. So 4 out of 5 Lundies for me. What do you say? Loggies. God, I can't even.
Loggies, yeah. I'm torn between either a 4 or a 4.5.
I forgot we do halves.
Yeah, sometimes we do halves if we're feeling generous. No, I'm going for 4. I think 4 out of 5. I think it's a brilliant game. I love this game. I forgot how much I loved it. I think it's brilliant. I wish there are some things I would improve on it, but generally overall, I think brilliant. Yeah, for 4 out of 5, I'll agree with you. I think it's a 4 out of 5. Very brilliant experience.
Yeah. I mean, if we're doing I also really like on-rail shooters. I think there are parts that it's definitely just confusing what's going on, but that might be the dated graphics. And by what's going on, I mean like where where are enemies, where am I going kind of thing. Like, oh, there are extra paths. I did not know there were other paths. I remember the first time, like a couple years ago when I played this, I had no idea about alternating paths because that was not super obvious to me. But but I
Yeah.
forgot we were doing half scores. So I honestly, I think I might bump it up to a 4.5 out of 5 then.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really, really liked it. I really,
Now I want to
really
match you.
like
Damn it.
run-based games that, all right, to be your own person, Graham. I really like run-based games that, have the replay to them. The Resident Evil games are the same way. Like they're short enough that they promote you playing them again with different things added to them. They have a new game plus modes without saying it. So this has that as well. So yeah.
I'm going to stick at 4.5. Sorry, I'm going to stick at 4 out of 5. Sorry for my score, and you're going for 4.5. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. I've got it written down. It's written down. It's noted.
It's in the books.
It's in the books. Yeah. Whoever's building that spreadsheet for us, please add it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that means it's time to tell everybody what we're doing next episode. This was Saturn time. We're jumping to the Dreamcast. I'm going to be discussing Toy Commander. Graham and I, you got two over there. We only got this guy in the North American area. Toy Commander is a cool game. We're going to have lots to say about it, and that's going to be next time. So if you have questions, memories, questioning our sanity on even picking this game, let us know. If you've played any of the Army Men 3D games, maybe it's like that. Maybe it's totally different. Find out next time. But that's going to be our topic next episode.
Absolutely. Fantastic. For any viewers, listeners, watchers out there, if you have played Panzer Dragoon Zwei recently or in the past, please let us know about it. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Were we crazy for rating it so high, or is it actually the near perfect game for the Sega Saturn? That's what we want to know. And Scotty, do you have any shout outs before you go?
Yeah, I'll shout out that video that I was talking about for Alien. Jesus. Resurrection. It was the video game foundation people who do stuff for kids that want to read good. Hold on. Let me check here. Crap. National Video Game Foundation? Yes, the Video Game History Foundation it's the video called Fact Check, Did Alien Resurrection Invent Dual Analog First? So I recommend it. It's about 15 minutes long, so you can watch it on your 15 at work or something. But it talks about, as I mentioned earlier, Alien Resurrection probably is the first game to figure out dual analog first-person shooter controls for consoles.
Wow. I might watch that then. That sounds fascinating.
Like even if you're not a fan of the Aliens games or that franchise at all, it's still interesting from a tech gamer history perspective. So yeah, check it out. Video Game History Foundation, always doing good stuff.
Fantastic. There we go.
I don't know when I'm doing the Saturn Day Marathon because it is on the day or the weekend of what Saturn Day was when it released in North America, day of an announcement. Like they announced it at E3, and that was a absolute disaster. So we celebrated. I celebrated, of course, because Saturn's one of my favorite consoles. And typically what I do is a 12-hour marathon of Saturn games, raising money for Extra Life through donations from all awesome people that watch, including Graham. He's donated plenty. And the date of that, though, we have something going on when that would normally happen. So stay tuned, follow, our socials are posted in the show notes. Keep an eye on when I'll announce that. But it's always a good time. We'll play some Saturn games. Panzer Dragoon Zwei is definitely going to be in the mix this year. Maybe I'll try to get that second boss or something. I could do the whole game again, honestly, because in half an hour or something, because I'm a pro. No, but because it's fun. Yeah, sorry. Just before, I wasn't sure in the timing of when this will release, when it'll happen. So just letting people know to keep an eye on socials for that.
Excellent. Yeah, keep an eye on that. It's always good fun. It's always good fun watching all these streams. I love it. Brilliant. It's for the kids. So
it is for the kids. It's fun. Usually donations, the incentives are like get a pile of plushies behind me, or how many hats can I wear because I'm a doofus and things like that while we play games. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Cool.
All right.
So I think we can wrap that up. But yeah,
Yes.
definitely get in touch with us about your experience with Panzer Dragoon Zwei over the years, and any other comments you want to leave. Comment, subscribe. Please do that. It helps the channel grow. And yeah, thanks again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you on the battlefield next time. Woo!
I could talk about how
Yeah, I can
flying
hear you, buddy.
gnomes launch out of my nose every day.